Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
Oh, I'm Brad Nelson. Hello, everyone.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. Yes, we do have Brad Nelson in the studio today as a special guest. Corey, a little busy. Too busy for us, I guess.
I mean, he's pretty big time.
Yeah.
Got that Challenger Gauntlet coming up, getting focused on that.
So we swapped in Brad for the afternoon to play a little bit of Modern. And
Whoa. It's not standard?
Correct. It's Modern.
I did not do my homework.
Were you just playing Standard all week to prep?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or just playing Standard all week because you can't stop?
Oh, yeah.
No, we are going to be playing some Modern today because last weekend we had the showcase challenges on MTGO, and they revealed a sort of new challenger into the Modern metagame. So things keep churning in terms of Modern post Modern Horizons 2. We keep seeing new decks arise and some decks fall. And this week is the emergence, or the big story is the emergence of this 4-color Elementals deck that Canister actually won a challenge with the week before as sort of a harbinger of things to come. Maybe a Flamekin harbinger.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I have to bring Corey's spirit here by making horrible jokes and bad puns. So
Yeah, some of them go over his head, though, right?
No, they all go... He's the one making them.
Oh, sure.
So
Ross's math
they
jokes
don't
go
go over my head. They go into my head, and then I get mad.
Do you get furious?
No.
No? Okay.
No. No.
He gets colossally angry.
Yeah. No, but seriously,
Already getting too much.
I can take over for a second while you collect yourself. I'm really excited about this because the last time I actually played with these cards, they were printed at a printer at Wizards. I was playing with these. I worked at Wizards for...
They had crude crayon drawings instead of actual art. And
Oh, you don't even know they have it. I could tell you a bunch of really funny stories about that. Sometimes new art would get in, and all of a sudden they had a Yargle Day. I don't know if you know anything about this.
I mean, I know what Yargle is.
Yeah, there was a Yargle Day, September 3rd.
Okay.
And they had one of the secret layers of that. And so all of a sudden I built the deck with Fatal Pushes, and I get the Fatal Pushes, and they just have Yargle falling in the pit. And I'm like, am I having a stroke? What am I looking at? But that was fun. But no, I played with all these cards. And so even when the set was coming out and the sky was falling, I loved all the incarnations or the elementals or whatever they're called. And because the sky was falling on that day, they're all broken. I'm like, no. Everyone's like, the white, the black one, they're going to be disgusting. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that red one's going to be great. And now I get to play with it today.
Well, you get to play with basically all of them.
Oh, yeah.
You've got all 4 in your colors, so no grief, but Solitude. Actually, most lists don't have Subtlety. Sometimes you see it in the sideboard. So 3 of them with Solitude, Fury, and Endurance. That's really the trick of this Elementals deck. It's great at grinding and great at playing to the battlefield, and that gives it a very good matchup against the Ragavan Dragon's Rage Channeler decks. But normally when you're able to do that, it's very easy in Modern for decks to get underneath you. But the Incarnation solved that problem by giving you all this free interaction, a lot of it at instant speed, and you actually get to even negate some of the card disadvantage with Risen Reef. So
that's the secret, because when I saw a lot of people when they started exploring these decks where they're trying to play these pitch elementals, they're using Ephemerate to gain back that card advantage so they can get double effect. But if you don't have the Ephemerate, it's kind of you're at a net loss. But because of the Risen Reefs, you can play 1 or 2, and you kind of just go off. And I've played against this deck online. I actually own Hammer on MTGO and been grinding that for a couple weeks. And the first time I played against this matchup, I'm like, how do I beat this when I have 2 Risen Reefs? They have 2 Risen Reefs in play, and they're just pitching, killing my stuff, drawing cards. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm dead.
Yeah, the main issue with these Orzhov decks that we saw early on, like you said, with Ephemerate is, you either had to build it in a way that Grief wasn't a good card without Ephemerate, or Ephemerate wasn't a good card without Grief, because there just weren't enough black creatures to blink with your Ephemerates, other than like Callous Blood Mage, which wasn't even that good to begin with. So the Risen Reef solves that problem because it's a fine card in your deck without the Incarnations. The Incarnations are fine cards in your deck without Risen Reef, but together they're excellent in the same way that Grief and Ephemerate were excellent.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And And I mean, I like where things are going because it's Modern is playing to the board, and that was one of the goals with Modern Horizons 2 was don't have all these like mystical sanctuary type things where all these spell-based decks are pushed. Like a lot of the power of the set is in the creatures, and it's causing for a lot of interaction and what you said before, a lot of shifting, because as the interaction changes and you figure out how to interact with all these strategies, then new strategies will come in and start dominating.
Yeah, that are good against that interaction. Then you find the interaction that's good against what's new. Then they find what's good against that interaction.
Threats, yeah. But if the best thing possible is the Teferi control deck, is the
Oko Urza Mox Opal nonsense pile.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. If those are the best things you can be doing and there's not good interaction or good threats for them, then it gets stagnant and then something has to come in. You know, WotC has to come in and clean up one or two cards.
Yeah. So because this Elementals deck is the new hotness for Modern, we're going to be playing a Gauntlet show today with it. Brad's going to be on the Elemental side of it. So you only have one deck that you have to play. That's good. We're going to keep it simple for you.
I do have to say, this deck won a tournament, right?
This is the winning list from last weekend's Mox Showcase Challenge, though it is somewhat different than the stock Elementals list. You still have the Risen Reefs, you still have all the Incarnations, you have the Omnaths, but rather than playing a little bit more ramp, or sometimes you see Ephemerates in these decks.
There's Ephemerate in here.
There's Ephemerate in that list? Okay. Yep. It's playing Thunderkin Awakener, which is the big...
it's a card I've never understood. Like, I read it, I get what it's supposed to do, it never does what I need it to do.
Yeah, you know, there's a little bit of a toolbox with it because you already have Harbinger in the deck. So there's like a Lightning Skelemental, which people have played around with in Rakdos Shells in Modern before. So you can do that a little bit. But I think mainly it's just making sure that you can get Risen Reefs onto the battlefield as often as possible, because people have learned that you have to kill that card on site, which was also sort of true in the standard version of this deck. So not that difficult of a lesson for people to relearn, but to me that seems like the function of it. We'll see how it plays out in these matchups.
Well.
Yeah, and it's a red card to pitch to Fury, which has been really important.
But where I was getting is this is an accomplished deck, so I can't blame it if I make a bunch of mistakes and lose today, right?
True, yeah.
Yeah, it's on me.
Yes, all the pressure is on. Though there's a little bit less pressure because Corey won Tuesday's show, so the marbles are not on the line for you.
Yeah, I don't care about the marbles anymore. He cheated his way out of getting them last time we played. After that, I just realized I don't even want to be a part of that. You know, it's kind of like when you own something, it eventually owns you. Like it feels like your guys' thing. I'm trying to stay away from it.
I don't want that on my conscience.
Yeah, no. I don't want to lose sleep over it. So yeah. I'm good not getting the marbles.
Okay, so the first deck in our Gauntlet against Elementals is going to be what was previously the sort of new hotness in Modern, and that was Mono White Hammer. And this is going to be part of the reason that the Elemental deck really rose up. This matchup's supposed to be quite good for the Elemental side. Hopefully I just draw incredibly well and it doesn't matter. But this is where you're going to see Fury be really good, and Solitude in particular. Yeah. So Solitude is your insurance against me going for a combo, especially a quick combo. And then Fury is your insurance against me trying to grind you out and go wide with Ingenious Smiths, or just making a bunch of creatures and maybe trying to equip multiple things, draw cards with Curse to Paladins and whatnot. And Fury just kind of blows all that up as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what we're doing in the show. We're showing why this deck is popping up. Then played it against one of the top decks that I love because I designed one of the cards in your next deck. Yeah. And then we're going to play it against something we think is going to be really good against it. Why are you smiling? What's going on?
I'm just smiling. I'm happy.
Oh, I never seen this, Ross.
We're playing Magic.
I was like, do I have something here?
No, it's just a good day. The sun is shining.
It is.
It's a nice temperature in the studio. Sometimes that can vary.
Yeah, Ross, I got a great thing here from chat for you.
Yeah.
So Crocodile says, Ross, do you have the endurance to deal with the subtlety of these puns, or will the fury and grief he feels make him wish for solitude?
Wow. Okay, that's just really good.
The whole circle.
Yeah.
Just getting
all five seamlessly.
Gotta catch them all.
That's. Okay, that's just too good.
All right, well, I want to play some Magic.
We need to. That's going to be the clip of the day. It's just Rob reading that from chat.
It's beautiful.
That's better than anything we could do on the battlefield here.
Oh yeah, chat usually can do better things than we're doing, but yeah, we've got the control.
Okay, so because there are no marbles on the line, we're going to have to roll to see who goes first. I guess, do you want odd or even?
Even. No, wait. High roll. I want to do that to you.
You're evens.
High roll.
9.
That's pretty good. I got him. I got him with the tie. The reason that you do odd even is so you don't tie.
8.
Aw.
Okay.
All right, my fun.
I got him where it counts.
I should have said, "Oh, I'm even," right?
I'll play first.
Perfect.
See what I got here.
I remember when we used to play the 7-Eleven game on this show.
Yeah. One thing I will say about the list of hammer I'm playing, I've written about my distaste for Ingenious Smith in the deck before, but I kind of like it in a list with Mishra's Bauble, giving you a higher density of artifacts and just a way to get this pump the Smith even faster.
I have not even tried any of that stuff.
I am trying out a list with Bauble and Ingenious Smith. And I have both of them in my hands. But I do not think I can keep this triple Ornithopter hand that doesn't really utilize the Ornithopters well.
That's most hands. Any triple Ornithopter hand doesn't utilize the Ornithopters.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep this beautiful hand because I can get Furious. I can get the white one.
Solitudinous?
Yeah, I find solitude in this hand, literally.
I found it. It's right there.
No. I find solitude in this hand. Quite literally.
Okay, so what you're saying is I have to kill you on turn 2.
Yeah, and that is not
On the
usually
play.
possible.
Turn 1, Sigarda's 8 Ornithopter. Turn 2, double hammer.
Yeah, I have done that actually. It's disgusting.
It's very difficult. I'm sure there's other ways to do it with like Drum, Inkmoth Nexus, Ornithopter, something like that. Okay, this is definitely a keeper. The question is which card I put back. And I'm guessing it's this one, since this card seems really bad in this matchup.
Yeah, that's a takeout.
Yeah, so let's put that one on the bottom. And I will lead on Inkmoth Nexus, Springleaf Drum, Memnite, Colossus Hammer.
Do you want to put the Colossus?
Do I want to put it? Yeah.
With no white?
Yeah, well, no. Let's not play the hammer yet.
Okay, but you played it. But like Judge, he played it.
You're good.
All right.
It's oddly half and half, where like Persto Paladin makes me want to put it on the battlefield, and Sigarda's Aid makes you want to hold it. But in this case, I'm going to have an extra colorless anyway, so if I play Persto Paladin later, I'll be able to follow it with hammer and even draw a card.
So my hand is quite interesting because I don't know any of how my duels work. If I did, it wouldn't be as interesting. But it's like this is a box of chocolates. I have no idea what I'm going to get.
My guess is you have one of each triome that's in your 4 colors.
Yeah, but there isn't a triome that gets the 2 colors that I want. Right? Yeah, there isn't one that I'm... Or there might be, actually.
They're both Is It, and it's Is It plus white or Is It plus green. So if you need green-white...
But I also might want to go, I think, Tingle Florahedron as an elemental, and that's in my deck.
Yeah, there's often a 1 to tutor 4 with Harbinger if you need to accelerate.
I might need that for all of my placement in my hand. Yeah, we're going to go to 18. We're going to play a Flamekin Harbinger and trigger it. And so...
Hasn't played Paper Magic in forever. It doesn't miss a beat. Remembers his trigger.
Why did not do it for me? Yeah, because if we put an elemental on top, we might not get the land drops that we need. And I think this is fairly important. So it's a really weird one to go get. But I'm going to do it. Your turn.
Perfect draw.
I screwed this up. I need to do... I didn't miss a beat. I'm going to 17, keeping the steam vent in my hand. And I'm going to go get red-white.
You mean keeping the steam vents in your deck?
Keeping the steam vents in my hand.
You played steam vents naturally.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to get red-white.
So you're going to be at 17,
Yes.
fetching for a Sacred Foundry on turn 1 instead. Okay. I have... drawing another Memnite, which is not great.
No.
I will attack for 1 with the first Memnite.
It's not looking too good for you over there.
It could be better.
I'll block.
Got him. I'll play an Urza Saga, and I'll buy this Luris. So set up to get this Memnite back.
Oh, what was I doing?
Pass the turn.
What was I thinking?
Oh, just wanted another land drop. Not even accelerating. Okay, draw my card. Chapter 2 on the Saga. And I guess I will play an Inkmoth Nexus and attack for 1.
I will take 1.
Brings you to 16.
Yeah.
Pass the turn.
So now we've got the army of artifacts coming, which isn't all that great for us. We're gonna go to 14.
This is a Risen Reef.
Risen Reef with a trigger, and now do I reveal it?
I think you look.
I look. Okay.
Yeah.
And it just goes to my hand if it's not a land.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead.
End step, I will make a construct. Go to my turn.
Yep.
And draw. Trigger for Urza Saga on the stack. I will make another construct.
Sure.
And then resolve this trigger.
Yeah.
I could just get a hammer. Then Puristo Paladin would end up being a good draw, since I have a white source in my hand. But that doesn't seem great. I think I just want to get a bauble, because this will both let me dig towards a way to equip hammer and make my Luris good.
Another 5/5s currently.
Yes. Then I will I guess play another Inkmoth Nexus and attack with Memnite and the 1 construct that can attack.
So this is 5 currently, but it can be pumped up to a 7. So, but it's not lethal, so we'll take it.
Okay. Before damage. Yeah, I'm gonna activate 2 Inkmoth Nexuses.
Yep. So I'm going to take a total of 8.
3,
Down to
6.
6.
Yeah, 8. Bring. And then I'll pass the turn.
Perfect. All right. We will draw, and we should be able to have a very good turn. All right. So we're going to start off with Thunderkin Awakener, which is a trigger,
Yep.
into hand. Then combat. I think we'll keep this back to block if we need it. I'm going to attack and trigger, and I can stack the triggers, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to go get an elemental. I'm going to show you said elemental. All right. Would you like to cut?
You're good.
All right.
Put it on
On
top.
top. I'm going to look, see if it's a land. It's not.
I will take 2.
2.
Puts me to 18.
And now I should probably do something with my turn. These are 5s currently.
Yes.
Feels like this should be my play. And maybe I'll double pitch and hold this pitch. All right, let's just see what happens. So I'm going to cast Fury, pitching Omnath,
So evoking a Fury here.
evoking. So
Yep.
I have to target now, so I'm going to do 1 and 3.
Okay.
And then I will trigger Risen Reef before the sack.
Sure.
Reveal. I'm going to put this. Maybe it's not worth putting in my hand. No, it is, because if I don't make a line drop, I might as well. I can always make a line drop later. So yeah, we'll put it in my hand.
Yep.
then... Oh, I totally should not have pitched this. I should have pitched this.
Sure. Now we're ephemerating the Fury.
Yeah, I just have to do that. All right, so then we're going to ephemerate the Fury.
Yep.
It comes back, it comes, so this currently needs 1 damage.
Yep, because the Mem Knight's down,
Yep,
so they're
so 1 and 3. And a trigger. And that I'm going to put into play.
Oh, now the Ephemerate's exiled to rebound.
Oh my God, his rebound?
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a good card. And then I will play a land for turn.
Yeah. Your Harbinger gets exiled on the end step.
Exiled.
And I will bauble you.
Is it good?
Nope.
I think it is.
Upkeep, draw off bauble. Draw for turn. Play Canopy. Play bauble. I'm going to animate a Nexus, tap it for a white to the drum, because I don't want to extend any more creatures into this Ephemerate. Take 1 from the Canopy, go to 17, play Luris. Good?
Yeah.
Then I'll play Bauble from the graveyard, and pass the turn.
Guess we'll go to 5. Let's go get a tap. You're right, it wasn't good.
Yeah. Oh, you got the Rogren Triumph that was on top of your deck.
All right, so should be sacrificed, right?
Oh, it's sacrificed? I just assumed it was exile. Most things like that, exile.
I actually thought it was sack, but then when you said it, I'm like, I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look like the newbie here.
I guess on your upkeep you ephemerate.
I'm gonna target Fury.
Sure. Risen Reef trigger on the stack. I'll bauble you. Yep.
All right, so then 4, and then I'll look. All right, this goes to my hand because of the Fury trigger.
Yep.
And then I draw a card.
Still on your upkeep, I'll bauble you again.
Then I'll draw this card.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? All right, we'll play Risen Reef, 2 triggers, and put that into play. Or maybe not. No, I'll put it in my hand.
Brad deciding to put lands in his hand says that he doesn't have any other lands.
No, these come into play tapped. Oh, yeah. It says that I don't have any other.
Which is bad for me because it means his hand is all spells.
It's a very good hand. All right, so then we'll play this. I'll go to combat. I will attack you for 3, trigger this.
One of the Risen Reefs is new.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Trigger this.
It's kind of messed up that you just get to keep doing this. Why did they make that a sacrifice?
Because Magic's magic. It's a 1/2 that's attacking and not dying. Like, these are all very high-powered creatures. If they don't die in a Magic, they can't kill them. All right, so we're going to get another Solitude, and then I get 2 triggers. This is going to go to my hand. This is going to go to my hand.
I'll take 3 to 14.
14, okay, cool. All right, so then...
Can't wait to Shrapnel Blast you.
You have no creatures, though. I don't have good plays because you don't have any creatures. I'll play another Harbinger.
Yep.
Trigger it. We'll go get another Risen Reef.
We'll put that into your hand, and then another Risen Reef trigger.
I should have gotten it for this turn and then done better for that. But yeah, we'll draw that, put that in hand.
Discard all your Solitudes to hand size, please.
Oh, no. I'm going to exile your graveyard, pitch in an Omnath. Trigger, put this into play tapped. Put this into play tapped. And then that's 8 cards still.
Go to 4.
Nah, I don't need to do this. I'm just doing something for the sake of doing it, and I don't think I need to do it. All right, I'm going to discard a Risen Reef and sacrifice that and say go.
Discards the card he tutors for. That's always a good sign, right?
Oh no, you are super dead.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
assume so.
we don't need to keep
I'll
playing.
sack this canopy. Or I drew 2 for baubles. Then sack the, oh god, those were also bad. Huh. Just drew 4 lands in a row. I'll play another Horizon Land and sack it. Oh, make that 5. Yeah, I have another Mem Knight. is that good enough?
It seemed like your hand was a mulligan, but I guess you already did mulligan.
Yeah. It just needed a way to equip a hammer.
I think of that deck like Tron.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have the pieces that it does it, like Tron, I'll also mulligan until I have Tron, or I'll mulligan into a game loss. Like I'll just do that. And that's how I feel with that deck. I'm confident that I just have to find one of the power pieces.
Well, that didn't go so well.
Oh, I thought it was amazingly fun, and I'll be faster now that I know how my deck works. Do we got any questions from the chat? Hi, Rob.
Yeah, we did have a question from Histeus earlier. So do you expect Modern to rotate every few weeks as Ragavan lists build to beat whatever is at the top of the metagame, and then turn again as they try to work to beat that deck, and then a new weakness is exposed?
Essentially, yes.
I think of Modern as this format that has like a few moving pieces, but also a very stagnant part. Where like I'd say 60 or 70% of the metagame is just like the most powerful cards are gonna keep seeing play, and maybe the interaction or the splash colors or whatever will be shifting around, and we'll see like a few decks come in and out. Like we're seeing Hammer getting beaten out because there's more removal now and stuff like that, and then that might open the door to the Valakut decks getting to interact a little bit better in the format. But then that might adjust, like people playing, blue or black red over blue red, which is weird enough because they want to play the Dothy card and stuff of that nature. And like those decks will just change a few things, which will greatly impact the most linear strategies on which ones are playable.
But the core of the mid-range interactive decks right now is Lightning Bolt, Unholy Heat, Ragavan, Dragon's Rage, Chandler, Mishra's Bauble.
I don't think that's going to change.
Exactly.
They're like, they're just too good.
Yeah. So
They're too good. Whoever made them is stupid. I'm kidding. I helped make them.
So like those cards form the base of your interactive deck. So those are the decks that are always reacting to the metagame, and everyone else is trying to find new strategies that exploits the specific builds of the decks surrounding that core. And I think that's what the question is about. Like those are the decks that are staying around but in changed forms, and then the metagame shifts around it to try to take advantage of its specific form at that current moment in time.
And it's interesting now that these decks that are fighting each other for spots are all like, they're all the ones that can keep up with the strategy, right? Because it pushed out the ones that can't. And so I always find that's the most interesting about it, is like, there's a lot of decks right now, but the ones that are ebbing and flowing also can compete with these mid-range decks. These mid-range decks are just always going to have their like 51, 52% or whatever, like metagame share.
You played mid-range decks for a while. You know how it works.
Well, back then in Modern, it was 43, 44%. You get out of a Pro Tour at 6-4, you are high-fiving people.
It's not the same. It's not the same Modern format. The linear decks have been powered down pretty substantially over the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Speaking of linear decks, I'll be on the play again, and
We're just gonna put this back. Hopefully the camera got it already. It's
now I've got my ways to equip a hammer, but I don't have any way to find a hammer and very bad threats, so I will mulligan that one.
So what you're saying is you just got time. No hammer, just time.
Yep. So I'll keep going because it's not time to stop yet.
It's not 4?
No.
Stop. Hammer time. No. Intrepid Guardian wants to know, do you think that this hammer deck is actually going to be a fixture of Modern moving forward, or is it just kind of like in this moment it's going to be good and then you see it like fading out at any time?
I do think the deck is just a solid deck. The issue right now, any linear deck that has a huge spotlight on it, especially in a format like Modern that has so much good cheap disruption, is going to struggle to some degree. But we still saw it show up. I don't think it cracked the top 8 of any of the major events, but you saw a lot of it in the top 16s and top 32s, or people putting up solid records with it. But this is probably the worst time to be playing a deck like Hammer with everybody hyped on elementals. Even then, it's still not, it's not a horrible deck. It's not like the Primeval Titan decks that just got completely removed.
It's this fast linear deck that does something incredible early. So, in my opinion, it's look at how old Dredge or Infect worked in the metagame, where it'll come up at its right spot. So like I was confident enough to just buy it on Magic Online because I knew that it seems like a fun deck. It might not have a good month, but there will be a time when things get a little slower and clunky because that's how Magic works. Is you kind of want to sit on top of the other deck, just slightly on top of them. So then you have the linear deck, then you just sit on top of them with elementals, and then the Primeval Titans come on top of that, and then all of a sudden, like whatever control deck tries to go over the top of that, and then you've got the going completely under them. And that's just how Magic always functions. So a deck that's this powerful, that's not gimmicky, because it feels gimmicky, but it's not.
Yeah, like it's easy to compare it to Infect, right? They do very similar things, but this is an Infect deck with a ton of built-in card advantage that Infect never had, and doesn't have the consistency issues because of lack of threat density that Infect had. There are a lot of structural issues that deck had that Hammer completely solves. So that's why I think it has a much higher floor than previous decks that did similar things, and that's going to keep it around even in hostile metagames. Yep. So it's not going to fluctuate to the same degree. It will fluctuate. And it'll fluctuate more than mid-range decks and interactive decks will, because it's a linear deck and they always fluctuate more based on metagame circumstances. But because of its built-in resilience and card advantage, it's not going to fluctuate nearly as much as prior examples of linear strategies.
You also just can't assume that everyone's going to be playing elementals. And one of the most popular decks is like these blue-red Regivan decks, and even blue-black. And like I've been playing with Hammer, and they kind of beat all of them.
Yeah.
And so as long as
those decks aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, and as long as those decks are out there, then there's this strategy that just might have high variance matchups, but that's Modern, baby. Like that's just how it rolls. Like so new things are coming in to make it look scary, but it's still a fantastic deck, and I think once things will move around and people stop all having sideboarded hate for it, then it can show up again.
No, I think it's just a very good deck. I think it's going to stick around for the long term. It's just at its worst point right now.
Yep.
But even at its worst point, it is still a fine deck that you can have success with in leagues and challenges. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult, and you're going to have to be a lot more precise and maybe come up with a slightly different list.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm trying out this list with apparently no white mana, so that's not good.
I mean, even just those like creatures in the sideboard that like stop things from enter the battlefield triggers, right? Like that's something that I might explore. Take out your Stoneforgers, bring those in.
Yeah, Hushbringers or there's a couple of different ones.
Yeah, there's like a 1/3 that.
Yeah, one is Tocatli Honor Guard. Then there's the 1/2 flying Lifelinker. That's Hushbringer.
But yeah, if you really want if you want to hammer the elemental matchup, it's with that.
Yeah, there you go.
Where they can just solve. No, they can't solve it. Yeah, that's why.
Exactly. No, they've got to bring in actual spells.
I don't know. Oh, I've got a few actually.
I'm sure you do.
Not many.
So this hand, obviously, as constructed, essentially does nothing, but it is very, very close to doing a lot of things. And that makes it tempting, especially on 6. Like I would definitely mulligan this on 7, but I think it's an easier risk to take on 6.
I will tell you that my hand is not that good.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this on 6. And we'll see how it goes. I will start with Inkmoth Nexus. These are free. I don't have to pay mana for them, so let's leave it untapped. Then I'll pass the turn.
Going to name Elemental.
Ooh, smart.
I'm going to play Flanking Harbinger. And I'm going to go get a Risen Reef. Your turn. Do I need to write it out?
I think we can remember it.
I will play a Sigarda's Aid.
There we go. It's close enough. It's very for a dyslexic person. It's very similar. Yeah. Oh no, not that card.
Good.
Oh no. Oh no.
Attack.
Oh no. Block. Oh no.
My hand was short a white source.
All right, so I'm at 9.
I drew the white source. Yeah, you'll go to 9. There was no solitude there, so that's good. So now we've got Brad in the abyss.
Oh no. Oh no. Let's do elemental. Go.
And I decided to play this hand as aggressively as I did because I had a backup hammer in this Urza Saga.
Oh, you have a backup hammer right now?
Well, in a couple turns.
Oh, okay.
So,
pretty good.
yeah, and I can try to set up a 1-turn kill.
Yep.
So force that. Yeah, getting one point of infect doesn't matter. Let's just buy the Luris. Fetching to 8.
Do I even have a basic in here? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I would expect 1. There's not that many Path Exiles around these days in Modern, but there's enough that 1 basic is fine.
Risen Reef. Oh, is it? It's a land.
They done after that?
Yeah.
So, chapter 2 here. And I will attack for 11. And pass the turn.
It's not great. Now I draw it.
Solitude. You drew it after you had to get rid of the reef.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Are you actually as dead?
I'm not actually dead. Go.
And keep playing. End step, I'll make a construct.
All right.
Upkeep, Saga trigger on the stack. I'll animate the Ink Moth.
Mm-hmm.
Resolve the Saga trigger. Get another hammer. Equip Ink Moth.
I'll respond to the.
I guess that's actually.
Huh?
It's actually not that good, is it? Because it's going to lose flying, and you can just block it, and then the hammer becomes unequipped. That's not nearly as good. Let me.
Just make another construct and just equip the other one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make. Yeah, you're right. Make another construct. Equip the one that can attack.
Oh yeah, I could have played this turn differently if I knew that.
Did I draw my card for turn? I don't think I did.
I'm gonna.
I was trying to play too quickly.
Pitch, I guess.
Oh, I'll just draw now. It'll be fine. You're gonna hit the construct, I assume, with the trigger on the stack.
Yeah, which will be gain.
So it'll be gain 6, or no, 5. Yeah.
And then block. Okay, I'm dead.
25. Yeah, I still get to attack.
I guess I'm not dead. I'll block.
I'll play this Ink Moth and pass.
No, now I'm dead because that can be a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I can only do 4. All right. So I can't kill anything. Go. I chump block.
He's still not dead.
I'm dead. We have more games to play. I want my sideboard. I'm super dead.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah, hammer time. When you just don't have the answers early, I maybe shouldn't have gotten the Resin Reef because I had Fury and Solitude.
Maybe you just got like en masse so you can.
I should have just got a white source because then if I block a white creature, then I can still Solitude it and get back the Flamekin next turn and get the Resin Reef. Yeah, I definitely screwed that up.
Oh well, that
I
makes
could have
sense.
won it if I was, more smart
Competent.
and yeah. We'll go with competent.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break here and set up some sideboarding and then play our third game in this first match of our Gauntlet with 4-color elementals. If Brad loses this one, he's going to be back against the wall. This is supposed to be a good matchup.
Well,
so,
I can be on the play, right?
I guess that's your option.
That could help.
That's how Magic works. So
That could help.
We're going to take a quick break. Be right back here on Versus Live. Don't go anywhere.
All right, so here we are for sideboarding. I took out all the cards I don't understand and an ephemerate.
Are you sure you took them all out, or you just only took out cards you don't understand? Because there's probably more.
I only took out cards I don't understand, yes.
Because
And
these can't be all of them.
And then, the question is, do I want Chalice or not? And I think I'm on the play I'm going to. Now, if we play any more of this matchup, after that, I might take these out, or at least one of them and keep the ephemerate. It just seems like a card that if I play on turn 2, it could be very good.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking out one of my casualties here. If I get a Cavern, I can still play Harbingers, or I can even just cast them, counter them, and then bring them back with the Awakeners anyway. But so then all the other cards just make a lot of sense. Wear Tear for your artifact enchantment.
It's all just
deck.
good interaction.
Yes, it's all just
4 disenchant effects and 2 E's against the low curve creature deck with non-creature permanents too. So this is a card that has been sort of rehabilitated. You didn't see a lot of it a couple months ago in Modern, and now with curves so low, it's excellent.
And every time I'm playing Hammer and trying to set things up, I always forget about EE because it's hard to play around. Like you can in some spots, but not a lot. Then all of a sudden it comes down and you're like, oh yeah, the game is just over.
Yeah.
Like 7
you're feeling
of my
good. You're like, I'm attacking on 3 different angles. This is good. And it's like, oh, now I'm attacking on 0 angles and have no cards in hand
and I've lost my
Memnite.
I've lost my Urza Saga and now my Springly Drum, so I have 2 lands.
Yeah.
I'm back in the Stone Age.
Yeah, and on my side, my sideboarding is more motivated by trying to get the 5 cards on the bottom row out of my deck than trying to get anything in. The Sanctifiers and Paths are not great, but they're the best options I have when Esper Sentinel and Soul Guide Lantern are pretty heinous. You know, the Soul Guide Lantern does help against Thunderkin Awakener.
On the play, I definitely think the card's fine because I am bringing in so many actual spells. It's still not great.
Yeah.
But I think the Sanctifier doesn't seem all that good. I mean, it does hit my Awakeners.
It doesn't get Furied. It hits your Awakeners. It attacks through a lot of your blockers. I think it does a lot of subtle things that can be important.
That might be true.
But I wouldn't be surprised if those things don't add up to enough.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those, lots of little things, and none of them individually would be worth bringing the card in. And you've got to really play to figure out what the sum of those little effects is on the games.
All right, I got a question now. If I actually win today, though, can I take a marble? Not the marble, just a marble.
Just a marble as
so
a
then next
token?
time I come in, when one of you are off, we can play for a marble. Do you need to run that up to Cedric?
Well, they're literally my marbles.
Oh.
Have you not heard the story?
No.
Okay, so I used to just say we're playing for all the marbles anytime we had a match that was 1-1, right? Because I use old-timey expressions all the time. So and my mom, bless her soul, watches Versus Live regularly, despite the fact that she has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, our grandma used to do that too.
So she watches and sees me say that and was like, he should have some marbles. And these are actually my dad's marbles from when he was a child, in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
So and he still had them, and she went out, got them, put them in that jar, and I went home after a tournament in Worcester and visited them for a night after the Sunday. And she's like, oh, I've got something for you, and just handed me a jar of marbles.
That is adorable.
Yeah. So those are heirloom marbles.
That was a good last card to draw. Oh no, it's this one. Oh no, can I keep this? Oh, it's this one. All right, I'm gonna keep it.
I will keep as well.
All right, go.
I will play a Sigarda's Aid and an Ornithopter.
Oh no.
You can go.
Oh no. Oh no. Elemental.
Yep.
I'm doing all the things right though, at least. Go. You don't have it, do you?
I got a couple options as to how to play this turn. I can be aggressive again, or I can try to set up, and I'm just trying to figure out how good my setup turn or setup line is against what you're doing over there. And
I'm playing standard.
yeah, I just don't think it's that good because I'm a little light on mana, so I'm going to take the aggressive line. So I will attack. This has flying.
Block.
Before damage, after no blockers are declared, I'll play a Colossus Hammer and equip to Ornithopter.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll play another Colossus Hammer and equip to Ornithopter.
I'll respond.
Have the Solitude.
Yeah. I'm giving them extra life, but I got both hammers. All right, so you getting 10?
Yeah. I'm a 30.
All right.
You can go.
Did I have it? Of course I had it. Okay. Do we want to? Yeah, we're gonna do all of our things this turn. So
Gonna go to 17, I assume.
yeah, I have 2 basics, but
And it's gonna turn to him. It's gonna be cool. I even literally, like, this was the turn 2 that I listed earlier in the show too. We were gonna have a nice foreshadowing moment where I talked about, like, yeah, if you just have turbo to guard his hand order after a double hammer, like, that's turn 2. I just drew it.
I drew this. I didn't have the white. If you want to cut.
You're good.
All right, so we're gonna start with Risen Reef,
Yeah.
and we're gonna put this in our hand, and then we're going to Flamekin trigger, and we'll do this first. And I think we need to. I guess it's just an Omnath, and we'll put that in our hand, and then your turn.
Yeah, and my other option for last turn was just play Ingenious Smith, and I think I would have gone with this line if I just had a third land, but I did not, and I still don't. And unsurprisingly, I'm putting 2 Pure Steel Paladins on the bottom and not finding an artifact.
I don't know why that's in the deck. That's just what's that? What was that human that people always argued about?
Militia Bugler.
It's just Militia Bugler all over again.
I literally compared it to Militia Bugler in the article I wrote.
Even just the arguments about it, like, such a weak card in my opinion.
Yeah, but don't worry, I've got a Memnite to pump it immediately.
Oh no!
You can go.
Oh no! What will I ever do? Omnath it. Trigger. We'll put this in or put it in our hand.
Okay. You also draw a card. Oh, that's the other Omnath. Okay.
No, this is the Omnath it. Like, I'm killing it.
That's a singleton. Oh,
yeah.
I just when you said Omnath, I just assumed you found that.
Oh, I agree.
And they all basically look the same.
Oh, when I saw the SCG post on Twitter, I saw this. I'm like, there's more than one Omnath in this deck. And then I looked. I'm like, oh, there's 5.
There's 5. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So. Attack.
You put a land into play off of the Risen Reef trigger from this Omnath, right?
Oh no, I didn't. Oh yeah, I get triggers.
Yeah,
on this, don't
you
I?
get a +1/+1 counter on a creature.
Oh yeah, I forgot about you. It's been a long time, Omnath. How you doing? All right, we'll put it here, and then I guess I'll attack with. I don't even see why attacking matters. You're just going to eventually be like, I can't win. I concede. Go. I just see no value in attacking when I can build a board.
We got him now.
Uh-oh.
Ingenious Smith.
Again?
And guess what? This time I hit an artifact. I'll take a Mishra's Bauble. I'll play Mishra's Bauble.
All right.
Get a counter on Ingenious Smith.
Okay.
That's called a synergy.
It is.
It's what we in the business like to refer to as synergy. And then I'll pass the turn.
All right. I will draw a card.
You're allowed to do that.
I will play Thunderkin Awakener, trigger. I'll put it in my hand. I'll fetch.
Brings you to 16.
16 it is. Oh, yeah, you better read that. Because it's happening.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Did not see this interaction coming up.
Nope. All right, we'll put a counter on Thunderkin Awakener. And then what we're going to do is we're going to enter combat.
Yep.
We're going to attack with Thunderkin Awakener. That'll bring back Solitude because its toughness is less than its toughness. That's going to trigger my Risen Reef. We're going to put... We have not played a land.
You have to choose targets for Solitude before resolving your Risen Reef trigger.
Oh, I apologize that.
Okay.
All right, you're at 32.
Yep.
And then this I will put into my hand.
I'll take 2, go to 30.
All right, and then...
Solitude stays around till the end of turn.
Oh, yes.
In case you want to ephemerate it, then keep it around forever.
Then I'll play a land. I get another trigger. We'll just keep going up here.
Seems smart.
I will tap a land. I will play another Harbinger. Trigger before the Risen Reef trigger. Get a Risen Reef.
Risen Reef goes to hand.
Risen Reef just goes to my hand now. And then I will let this go back to my graveyard.
On your end step, I will bauble you. Okay. Upkeep, draw, bauble. On draw for turn. Play a Springleaf Drum.
All right.
Make 2 white. Play a Sanctifier and Vec.
All right.
Exile all red and black cards from your graveyard, please.
All right.
And pass the turn.
All right. Untap. Draw. Okay, so we will play another Risen Reef.
This is fair. Everything's fine.
Trigger. All right, put that in our hand.
Second trigger.
Second trigger. Put that in our hand. Well, that sucks. Okay, anyway, we'll enter combat and attack with these.
Okay.
And then, whatever, we'll bring it all. All right, attack with these, and then trigger, brings all 2 back. Target that. Trigger.
I'll go back up to
Put it
32.
in my hand. Trigger. Put it in my hand.
And then this is 9 attacking.
I might actually, I'm going to ephemerate my Solitude.
Exile my Mem Knight.
Yep, exile
I'll go to
that. I
33.
get more triggers.
Take 9, go to 24.
Yeah, and what do now?
You're the one with 12 cards in your hand.
Okay, we'll put EE on 1. And we'll move to discard.
Sure.
And we'll discard Thunderkin Awakener. Did you get there?
Yep. I actually did. The problem is you clearly have 7 pieces of interaction in your hand, or some amount.
I mean, I can draw more. Like,
Yeah.
in this board position, I'll just draw more interaction.
I'll play Ornithopter.
Yep,
I'll tap for a white, activate Nexus.
you got it.
Attack.
Do I have flying?
No.
Oh, all right.
No blocks.
No blocks.
Okay. 4 damage, play Hammer.
It results.
Target the Nexus with the Cigar Dizade trigger.
I'll Fury it.
That doesn't have flash.
I'll Fury it again.
Neither of these creatures has flash.
Okay, I'll Solitude it.
Yeah. It's like you gotta have something. Once you use the Ephemerate, it's clear that you have something.
Yeah.
But I drew a 3rd hammer, and like that's all I could do.
And just like how much mana I tapped.
Yeah.
No EE.
Yeah. It's like very obvious.
Oh,
that,
it's been a while since you played versus me, but I've botched it before like that.
Yeah. I was. Corey tried to flash one of those in. I was hoping beyond hope that like you somehow screwed that up, but I did not see a look of existential dread come over your face when I told you. So it was clear that you were in control of the situation.
I should have sold it more. I really should.
Yeah.
Do we have time for more?
No, I think we are done with this matchup because we're just about 2 o'clock.
We should just play this for 2 more hours.
Disagree. So you saw me.
Can we ask chat? Hi, Rob.
I won the game where Brad didn't really have early interaction, and I just ran him over. And the games where he did have early interaction, I'm able to sort of play through and do more stuff, but I'm never able to threaten you in any way because you find more interaction a lot more readily than I rebuild.
Oh, it's actually kind of insane how fast once the engine starts, it's just on and it just goes.
Yeah,
Like,
it really is.
It's true. It's a matchup that doesn't have interaction, and I don't think at any time your draw was like, you never pierced a Paladin me, right? You never even cast one and got a trigger off of it. You never played a Stoneforge on the deck?
Oh, there's 4.
Okay, yeah. You just kind of had bad draws.
I drew a lot of Memnites.
I guess you didn't have a bad draw. That game you had turn 2.
Yeah.
Lethal. And if you brick on that, you're usually just, that's game.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
And I would have played it slower if I had, the 3rd land, because then I can kind of smith and try. I was going to try to set up a turn. I also do the Shadow Spear, but I was going to try to set up a turn where I like make a Nexus that you have to deal with, but also a big Trampler, and hope that you only have the 1 piece of interaction. and maybe that's good enough. But I like that was going to tip with only 2 lands and me having to draw lands to do that. It was going to take 15 turns to set up, so I might as well just jam.
Oh, I would. If you have turn 2 kill, take turn 2 kill. That's just that's modern. Like if they've got it, they got it, right? Like.
And he had it like a jerk.
Well, yeah. I mean.
I guess you didn't have it in game 2, so I can't expect you to just not have it 2 games in a row.
Yeah, but you also are going to keep more aggressive hands when you have the interaction.
Yeah.
So, like, the interaction is, like, your draw might not be as good, but you have the interaction more often in the keeps. Like, I'll mulligan if I don't have the interaction.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. So, it's going to happen in a lot more games than, like, normal things. Like, oh, they thought seized me on turn 1. Like, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah, as long as you are aware of the matchup going in and it's not like game 1 blind or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to do it for game 1. This, as we said, is the match that Elementals wants to see, and it was able to take it down. And we're going to move on to match 2, where we're just playing it against one of the sort of default best decks in the format, and that's going to be an Izzet Murktide deck. Brad, being a big fan of Murktide Regent, that he did you design it from scratch? Was that a U card from the beginning?
So the actual story is
you have to play against your baby now.
Do you know the commander card that's similar?
The one that people used to play in Legacy before Murktide, the 6-drop 3/3 flyer that rebuy stuff, or no, it gets the cast stuff that you exile with.
It gets cast stuff you exile.
Yeah.
I actually designed that, and then they're like, we can't print that. I'm like, why? And it's like, because it's already a card. And so then I went deeper.
We can't print that. Why? Because it's already a card. I love it.
No, it wasn't made yet.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have knowledge of it existing yet.
But that's probably a good feeling, right? If you're new to it, and you're just like, well, I just straight up designed a card that y'all put to print.
Yeah, that'll be printing soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get access to it. I didn't know it was going to come out in a couple months or something.
No, that
was fun.
That's cool. So, so we're gonna get to the second test for this deck, and this should be a pretty even matchup. The Ragavan Dragon's Rage Channeler decks are all just powerful, good decks. Now I've got some interaction. I can kill your Risen Reefs, thank God, and that's going to be a big part of it. And hopefully, I'm able to play some fun games. So
yeah, I need you to only be linear decks because that's easier on my side. If we have to start interacting with the deck, like I don't know what's going to happen.
No,
but we're going to find out soon.
Yeah. So we're going to take a 5-minute break here, get that second match set up for y'all, and then come back and continue our gauntlet here with the one and only Brad Nelson on Versus Live. So don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Brad Nelson.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We've got special guest Brad Nelson on Versus today, playing some Modern, doing a gauntlet with 4-color elementals. And so far, so good for the elemental side, which Brad is playing, defeating Mono White Hammer in match 1. But now the test is going to get a little bit harder, playing against
difficult tests.
One of the best decks in Modern, and a card that is essentially your baby for Modern Horizons 2 in Murktide Regent that you designed from start to finish. This is going to be a much different matchup than match 1, where we're both going to be interacting a lot. I'm going to be able to take Risen Reef off the battlefield. Hopefully Omnath as well off the battlefield. I think those are going to be 2 of your more important cards, as opposed to just having the Furies and Solitudes.
Yep.
And then on my side, I think it's also going to be about applying good amount of pressure, and Murktide is great at doing that.
Yeah.
If you really just have Solitude to answer it, Fury's probably not going to touch it. Murktide can really end the game in a hurry if I'm able to put you behind.
Yeah, I mean, when the card got previewed, and a lot of people were like, why did blue need a Tombstalker? And I was like, well, why can't blue have a Tombstalker? It should have a Tombstalker. But yeah, I've really taken interest to that deck. Now, I haven't played a ton of Modern. That's more something I'm going to do next week. I've been focusing on Standard because of the SDG Tour Online, which has another weekend this weekend, as well as the Standard Open. The Arena Open was Standard last week, and then the SEP Championship qualifiers are this weekend. So lots of ways to get qualified for that on the SDG Tour as well, if you want to take a look at those tournaments this weekend. But I'm moving into Modern next week. So it was an inopportune time to come here, except for the fact that I missed hanging out on my show. It was my show. I made this.
Was it though?
It was. I created this, and Ross won't even give me my seat. That's my side. That's my side. I used to sit on that side.
Now it's my side.
It's his side. I know my place, though. I get it.
Yeah, it's that side.
It is this side. No, it's this side when Corey or you can't be here. Or it's that side when you can't be here. I know my place.
You're on the fill-in side. Okay, so I lost match 1. I will be on the play here. Once again, it feels like I've been on the play a lot on Versus recently.
Oh, and for each win I get today, I am taking a marble. I can't have the marbles because Corey has them, but I'm going to take a marble.
One thing to note from this particular Is It list that I liked from it is that it was playing more counter spells than most. And the format is sort of starting to pick up in size again. It was sort of a race to the bottom from the early days of Modern Horizons 2, and that made counterspells a lot worse because mana efficiency of the rest of the format is, makes it easier to get underneath counter walls. But now that it's raising up again, I think counterspells are getting better. That said, I have drawn the exact wrong counterspells for this matchup in this hand.
Spell pierced? I don't know what they
Similar.
Miscast? Dispel? I don't know which one.
The other 5 cards in this hand are quite good. Are they good enough? I'm going to say that they are. We'll try it.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk that much about my hand. It is garbage, and I'm keeping.
Now it feels like Corey's here. Let's start with Spirebluff, Channeler, and then I'll play a Bauble and Surveil.
Do you want to see this card or the next one?
That land, I would like to see that. That's a good one to see. You can go, upkeep, I'll draw.
Go.
And draw for turn. I will Thought Scour myself, Surveil 1.
Yeah.
Let's just put that one in the graveyard. Not really a combo with Thought Scour unless I target you, but I'm just trying to hit Delirium here, so let's just put the most cards in it. So that's Delirium because we have creature, instant, artifact, land.
You have built in a coddle.
Play a Tarn and attack for 3.
17.
I am going to go to 17 myself, get a Steam Vents, and play another Channeler.
Ooh.
Which was a good draw off that Thought Scour.
That is pretty good, actually.
With Delirium, it means I can't get 2 for 2 by Fury. I know Brad has a Solitude in his hand from my Bauble. So he has an answer for one of them, but now I've got 2. I will force the negation, the Ephemerate.
No.
And Surveil twice.
But no.
These were the counterspells I was talking about, by the way. And they turned out pretty good in this game.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I still at least get a
You get one of
3
them.
for 2. I'm not feeling too good about it.
You get a 3 for 3, right? The Ephemerate's exiled.
Oh, yeah, we both pitch, yeah.
We'll pitch, and I got 2 Surveils out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
So Surveil 1, yeah, we'll keep that.
Or actually, you don't. You only get 1 Surveil. Because I will exile and then trigger after it's gone,
sure.
I will Ephemerate it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm playing sloppy over here because I haven't played physical Magic forever, and I'm used to computers telling me, doing everything for me.
I will go to 20 there, and you're still at 17?
Yeah, here you go. Now you're down to 2 cards?
Yeah. I'll attack for 3.
6, or yeah,
Go to 14. And I will cast this Expressive Iteration and Surreal 1.
It's a good Magic card.
I thought so. Is this one good? It could be. I really want to hit a land off this iteration, obviously, land or Bauble, so that I get the full 2 for 1. But given my hand, this could definitely be a good card. I'm going to take the risk and keep it on top. Okay, we hit the land. Actually, 2 lands beneath it, so now it's which one do I want? Spirebluff Canal is a pretty obvious one since it enters on tap, but if I end up flooding, the Islet could be valuable. And I'm still at 20. I'm going to go for the Islet. So we'll exile that, put this into my hand. And I will play the Islet and pass the turn.
All right, untap, draw for me. We'll name Elementals.
And you're at 13 from that end step fetch?
I'm on 13. I'm going to play Risen Reef.
Yep.
I'm going to put this in my hand. It's an interesting one.
Did you have 3? You hadn't played a land this turn? Or have you played a land this turn?
Yeah, Cavern of Souls.
Oh, you played the Cavern. Okay.
Yeah. I was looking at it and thinking about how it applies to the game,
Yeah.
and I wasn't thinking the other way. So I feel like I should just... I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this channeler. Just let it keep hitting me? Think that's what I'm supposed to do? But then, I do want more value out of this with this. All right, I'm just going to pass.
On your end step, I'm going to bolt the Risen Reef, Surveil 1.
Yep.
I'm going to go to 19 from the Islet to cast that. Surveil will stay on top. Untap. Draw. And now I'm going to dash this Ragavan, which I could have cast this last turn, but I didn't want to get blown up by a Fury.
Yeah.
And attack, get in for 5.
8.
Brings you to 8. Trigger Ragavan.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any elementals in my deck?
I don't think so, but it's still a castable creature.
Yeah. So do I want a free 1/1, or do I want to cast this card in my hand? I think the free 1/1 is fine. And yeah, I'd rather take 1 than give up my treasure. So I'm at 18.
I'm at 8.
And I'll just do an elemental check. Yeah, Murktide Regent's a dragon, but you knew that.
Yeah.
The Snapcaster is not an elemental, and that's in my graveyard. That's a human wizard. Oh man, is Brazen Borrower is like a fairy rogue, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they play Brazen Borrower in these decks. Yeah, so no fines there. And then I will pass the turn. Probably shouldn't have even looked, right? Because I knew I had a Spiral Canal on the bottom of my deck that I don't like.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. That's in your hand, right?
Yes, yeah. No furying that. Safely ensconced.
You have 3 cards in your hand?
3 cards.
8.
Yep.
I'm not too happy about this. Your turn.
Interesting. So it doesn't have the mana to hard cast a Solitude here, which is nice. Yeah, I'm just going to dash Ragavan.
Mm-hmm.
Attack for 6.
Cast Endurance.
Endurance resolves. Trigger on the stack. I will Unholy Heat it, taking 1 to 17 and surveilling. Was this a good draw step for the turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can put the land in the graveyard.
Okay. Trigger.
And no Ephemerate, so that's good. Yeah, then...
so I take 4?
Yes, brings you to 4. And I get another treasure.
Could have used that.
So, do I want to waste a mana to be able to surveil 1?
I mean, I'm going to go to 3. Do you have a bolt?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, Endurance puts on the bottom?
Yeah.
Sure. That's a whole
In a
different
random
thing.
order, you just shuffle it. But yeah, I have to fetch because I just have to go for Fury next turn. Maybe I should have done it this last turn and pitched.
Yeah, I have another bolt.
But yeah. Oh, you had 2 bolts?
No,
you just had 1.
I had bolt iteration. My hand was quite good.
Oh yeah, I was not getting out of that. That was good.
Yeah, the force negations, which were almost made me a mulligan in the hand because I had 2 of them, ended up being the key cards in the game.
Yeah, like I have to play it on my turn, right? Because like all the interaction on your side, but that felt bad. Just getting force negation feels bad.
Yeah. Most lists don't play it. That was unique to this list, the top 4 of the Showcase Challenge. I was used to seeing lists of this deck playing like 2 counterspell, 2 Archmage's Charm, or 3 counterspell, 2 Charm, or 2/2 and a single 1 mana counterspell like a Spell Pierce. And this list, I think, had 8 total counters. I think it's 2 Force, 3 Charm, 3 Counterspell.
Speaking of Archmage Charm, that's coming to Historic now, actually. So it's like 700 other cards if you haven't been paying attention.
I know that like a million cards are coming in. I'm not sure exactly which ones, but Archmage's Charm is a cool one.
Yeah. So you do a podcast.
I do.
I've been listening to it a little bit, and I don't know all the topics you've done in the past. But I thought about it, and I'm going to go look back through the Bash Bros podcast. But because of like the recent climate, I was like, I'm pretty sure over 50% of our episodes are previews, bans, or OP announcement episodes. That's like just all we do now.
Previews, bans, or OP announcements? Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many.
Probably
of
about
them.
half, yeah. That sounds about right. Does every week something like that happen?
Cards are coming, going, or what you play them in changes.
Yeah, that's just a lot of magic, especially with how many sets they've been releasing.
Oh yeah.
We've had a couple finance episodes with some special guests.
Oh, cool.
That had Mark Nestigo and Liz Lynn on the show. So we've done some other stuff, but I would say,
Why
yeah.
haven't you had me on the show?
No comment.
You could just say it back to me. The same thing.
Your BBD's on your next episode, right, Russ?
Yeah, real special guest BBD.
Okay.
An entire episode dedicated to fart jokes. Okay, you'll be on the play here for game 2. See if you can get something going. I was able to apply a pressure, and that's important because that means you just don't have time to set everything up. And
I'm gonna keep this hand, but it could fall apart real quickly. But I still think I'm supposed to keep it. I don't know how your hand is. I'm assuming most of my hands are clunky.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing that's
My
what
hand
this
is excellent, and I will lead on a Ragavan.
19. Oh, I have the perfect answer for that card.
Is it Sylvan Caryatid?
That is actually the perfect answer.
You are 19.
It is not.
Yeah, I like
That's not
the
it.
Indomitable Creativity decks. I've started to play Hard Evidence. Just make an 0-3 crab.
Voice is a pretty good answer.
Yep.
Your turn. Or maybe I should just go to 16. Nah. Maybe.
Okay, I'm going to play a Channeler.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I have a Temple Garden in my deck. Which I don't, so yeah, we'll just get forced.
Play a Bauble and Surveil. That's awkward. Okay, I'll Unholy Heat, the Voice, Surveil. Both Surveils are going to stand top.
Okay, trigger, I get
Yeah.
an Ely Cassis.
And then I will Bauble you.
Is it good?
It's okay. And then pass the turn, upkeep, draw.
It was not good.
Yep.
Gonna fail to find. Your turn.
Clearly trying to just get another creature down so I can't connect with the Ragavan with just a removal spell. Nice to have, and probably just needs to draw lands. Yeah, because you just missed your third land drop, so that's pretty obvious. I've got a Tarn. I don't have removal or really any way to get this Ragavan through, so I'm just going to offer the trade because that'll get me to Delirium.
Block.
Ragavan down, and then I will pass.
Not too happy.
So Thunderkin Awakener is a 1/2 that can't really attack effectively into Channeler. You don't want to search for any elementals anyway, so yeah, that's fine.
Your turn.
On your end step, I will crack this Tarn. So we got 19 all.
Maybe my hand was a mulligan.
Maybe. Always feels that way when you keep a 2-lander and just don't make your third lander up.
Yeah.
Okay. Draw for turn. Let's start with a Thought Scour on myself.
Trigger it.
It's going to go there anyway, so let's just fill my graveyard. Draw for the Scour. Then I have to attack. Get in for 3. Go to 16.
Ow.
And I will pass the turn.
What you got over there?
A bunch of interactive cards. And you have yet to present me something I want to interact with.
Great. All right, combat.
Sure.
All right, we'll attack and trigger.
Yep.
Do I have to into play? May search?
It says May, yeah.
No search.
So I'm going to take 5.
Yeah, you're going to take 5, down to 14.
14.
And your turn.
Sack the Harbinger.
Yep.
Attack for 3.
13.
Pass the turn.
Combat.
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to trigger it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Goes on
Yeah,
top.
goes on top.
Take 5.
Yeah, I'm at 9.
Play Arisen Reef, trigger.
I will counterspell the Risen Reef.
Okay.
Trigger a Surveil. Yeah, I'll leave it on top.
All right, your turn.
Draw, attack for 3.
10.
It's got 10 to 9.
Yeah.
And I will Bolt the Awakener, Surveil.
Yeah.
Leave that on
I
top.
think I screwed that up pretty
Pass the turn.
badly. Yeah, I'm not playing this well. Don't judge me, chat. Yeah, attack.
For 1, I go to 8.
And your turn.
Draw, attack for 3.
Seven.
Got 7 to 8. You have 6 cards in hand?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of cards. Gonna play Murktide. 2, 3, 4, 5. Want to maintain Delirium while making it as big as possible. I can remove one more instant, though.
Yeah.
Would I rather leave a Bolter on Unholy Heat? Because I do have one Snapcaster Mage, so... And I want to remove 4 instants, so it's a 7/7 with Brad at 7. So because I'm dealing damage in 3s, I don't think the Bolt is as relevant unless you draw a fetch land. Whereas you might have a bigger creature like an Endurance. So I'm going to leave the Unholy Heat and play a 7/7 Murktide.
Okay, end of turn. This is tough. I feel like I have to get rid of this, but that's like the one thing that might generate me some value in this game.
We talking about that Ephemerate?
Maybe. No, I couldn't have brought that back. Okay. Yeah. Pitch.
I'll counter the Solitude, taking 1. Puts me to 7. I'll Surveil.
Yeah.
I will bin this counterspell.
Okay. I'll Solitude Ephemerate. Pitching Ephemerate.
Had all white cards and 2 Solitudes.
All right, so you're going to gain 10.
Well, no, I have Force of Negation
It's
for the
your turn.
Ephemerate. Oh, yeah, it is my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Yeah, so I just get wrecked.
Yeah, you go to 17.
Yeah, so I go to 17. These get exiled. And again, I knew Brad had the Ephemerate, but second Solitude and another white card to pitch in that hand seemed tough.
And then I'm not going to rebound this.
Yeah.
And then I will draw. Interesting card, potentially. Am I playing it? Doesn't seem like the worst card to actually cast. Because we might just want to go for that one card to get bolted. Yeah, I'll play a Harbinger. I'm going to go get, I think, just Flamekin Awakener.
Thunderkin.
Thunderkin Awakener.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
And I'll attack for 6.
Bring you to 11, you go to 10.
Yep. And your turn. Don't have another Murktide.
I do not have that.
What do you have for 3 mana?
Okay, I'm gonna Thought Scour you.
All right.
Make sure that Awakener is not there.
Well, I'm glad
And-
my plan was so good that you interacted with it.
Yeah. And then I will pass the turn.
Draw. Oh, that is an inch. I just like the safety of putting it into play.
I will
first.
respond with this Archmage's Charm, going to 10.
What are you doing with it?
I believe I am stealing Ely from you.
No.
Yes.
But it's a 1/1?
Yes. Now Ely's a 1/1.
Okay. I'll attack.
Okay. I'll go to 6. You go to 13.
Your turn.
Okay. I'll start with Iteration. That was a good draw.
That's always a good draw. And boom, red card's so good.
Do I want the additional land here? Or do I want additional card advantage? Kind of unclear given my hand.
And while he thinks about that, I forgot every time I watch Versus Live myself, Corey always blasts out, Anyone in chat, ask some questions. So after this game, if there's any questions lined up, we can answer them. Say Rob.
What?
I just want to hear you just say your name.
You got one card in hand. So you're pretty low on resources here.
It's been here since the beginning, too.
Yeah.
It's been with me this
Is it an
whole game.
Omnath?
No, I wouldn't have debated on pitching so hard if it was Omnath.
True. I was just looking and seeing 3 lands. You know, it's been that whole game. 4-drop is a safe bet. I think I might need some additional removal, so I will take the card advantage, which means putting that into my hand and exiling the Murktide Regent.
Ooh.
And then I will go to 5
Ooh.
and cast a Murktide. I can actually just exile 5 spells to it and still have Delirium, land, creature, artifact, instant, and then pass the turn.
That's a big boy.
Some might say meaty.
Okay.
I don't like looking at graveyard.
I mean, I think that's the play. It's a weird one, but...
I'm at 5. Like Thunderkin just bringing back Risen Reef and attacking with everything. And I have to take at least 3.
Okay, so... You're at 5?
Yeah. Oh, not tapping red mana.
So these would have to... No, they don't have to be blocked. Okay, so I can evoke this, which gets this back.
So
Not wrong about any of what I'm doing right now, right?
and then you get to attack and return the Lark.
Yeah, and then I can return the Lark.
That's actually kind of messed up.
So if I attack with everything, I get the Lark. Whenever it leaves the battlefield, and it'll have to leave the battlefield at end of combat. But the question is, do I want to try to draw? Like, this is eventually going to turn into a Risen Reef, but that'll be a living Risen Reef. So I think that's better to be a living Risen Reef. But I might have wanted one card in case...
So now I can't even block the Thunderkin Awakener. I have to block...
No, you're at what life total? 5.
I'm at 5. So if I block Thunderkin and Solitude, that's 5.
Huh?
So I have to block Solitude and a 2-power creature.
Oh, this is 2 power.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was a 1/1. Never mind. My math.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
So I have to block Solitude and one of the 2-power creatures. The Lark is leaving the battlefield regardless, so it seems like I should just wind down the Voice, but then it becomes an even bigger creature. Though at this point the difference between 2 power is still lethal, and the Murktide will be bigger. So it seems best to just wind it down, which means it doesn't matter which of the 2 I block. Then you're going to end up with these 3 creatures, the Token and the Risen Reef, or no, well, these 2 creatures, the Token and the Risen Reef. You'll still have 5 attackers next turn, and I will be at 2. But yeah, those are going to be my blocks.
Okay, so I go to 16.
You go to 16. I go to 1. Sorry.
1.
Oh, that's even worse.
An elemental.
Yep.
And then
Solitude down.
Solitude down, and then I'm going to go to my end of turn. This is going to get sacrificed.
Yep.
And now my choice is, do I get Risen Reef or another Thunderkin Awakener? Because Thunderkin Awakener can do more shenanigans next turn. I think I just go for try to get the... That's dead.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I just try to get the value next turn, but if you have 2 removal spells, getting the card advantage now is more important.
And you're seeing me get max punished
I'm just going to get the Risen Reef. I think it's worse equity, but I get a card. Your turn.
Yeah. You're seeing me get max punished here for the choice of Fiery Islet. I think that is about to cost me the game. So I don't think I have a draw that gets me out of this. Yeah, even that, because I'm at 1. I'm 1 life away from getting out of it.
This is starting to look like it's actually a creature.
Yeah.
That's a nifty little combo. Now I get it.
Yeah, that is kind of messed up. The other reason I wanted to make the trade was potentially going Charming and taking the elemental back, but that's only 2 blockers against what would be 4 attackers. I could make it down to 2, but because I drew a bolt, but the Islet.
Wow.
The Islet cost me like 3 or 4 life this game, and I got stuck on lands. I didn't draw another land after it.
I cannot believe I won this game.
That was probably a mistake to take the Islet, but at that point I was at 20 under no pressure. Yeah. But then just the combination of that Awakener, I could have also counterspelled the Awakener, but I ended up using all the counterspells, and then just played more aggressively because you ended up beating me. No.
So, your hand actually just can't get there.
Yeah, and I don't know what I would iteration into.
Nothing.
Nothing more than casting these 2 spells.
You need 3 mana of 1 mana interaction to interact with the board.
Yeah, and
you have to kill this and interact with all 3. So iteration can't get you.
And this interacts with 2.
Yeah.
But I'm 4 mana or 1 piece of interaction short.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 mana, 1 life, 1 card short.
We get a game 3.
That was a tough one.
So how do I sideboard now, chat?
Well, we're going to figure that out, taking a quick break here and get our sideboard set up for this match between Izzet Murktide and 4-color Elementals, and we'll see if we can get a third match, get this all tied up on the Gauntlet, because the last match is going to be the toughest from your side.
No tie.
So quick break, don't go anywhere. We'll get our sideboard set up and finish this match. Welcome back to Versus Live. We're sideboarding in our matchup between Izzet Murktide and 4-color Elementals. Not a lot of sideboarding going on either side here. I'm just cutting the Force of Negations. We saw them be obviously very good in game 1, but I think those situations are few and far between. Kozilek's Return can just clear away some of those small pesky creatures that I have to let resolve because I'm focused on answering your Solitudes and your Risen Reefs and Omnaths and things like that. So I like it in small numbers. There's 3 in the sideboard. I'm only bringing the 2 in, just cutting the forces, but everything else staying the same.
Cool, yeah. And from my side, I'm taking out these 3 cards that are just 1-ofs that you can tutor for, and I just don't feel like any of them are going to apply to these games that well. This isn't going to hit Murktide because they can become a 7 or an 8 power creature. Lightning Skelemental is not the game I'm trying to play against you. You're trying to tempo me out, play you have more proactive elements.
This seems more for over-the-top linear decks where you need to be the beatdown, and those are matchups that you're probably going to struggle in. So having one card for those matchups seems like a good idea. Yeah, just not great here.
And then Omnath, the tutor up for this. It's just a 3/3 against a deck that already has Bolt, and I think Endurance. It felt good when I had it last game, and so I'm just going to go with those. But for my other options, the only thing I could do is maybe bring in a Rest in Peace. But I think my graveyard interaction. Endurance is going to do a lot against you anyway, or it should.
Yeah.
And maybe Rest in Peace is worth it.
I don't think so once you have the Thunderkins and the Vesperal Arcs. Those actually seem pretty good. And I'm going to be trying to kill your Risen Reefs. I just think that the turn 2 Thunderkin means that I sort of have to kill that instead of killing Risen Reef. Because otherwise you just get to still Risen Reef all the time. Because I'm not really that good at putting blockers in front of Thunderkin.
Yeah, it just means you have to kill both.
Yeah,
and that's where you want to be here, especially if I'm pitching. If I can ever keep a Risen Reef in play and I'm pitching successfully to kill your creatures and getting card advantage, that's the goal.
Yeah, and you think with Thunderkin, it's it enters and then leaves play immediately, but it stays for the rest of that turn. So you have that window on your main phase, either cast spells at sorcery speed or evoke them at sorcery speed.
You can always Ephemerate too, and then it will stick around.
Yep. Good point. So yeah, plenty of ways to utilize that Thunderkin. I think that was a pretty cool innovation from whoever piloted this deck.
I'm piloting it. We're on Versus Live right now. We're going into game 3.
Why I used past tense. You're currently piloting it. This is just not a very good hand. I got a Dragon's Rage Channeler, but I don't have much to do with it. It's going to take me a while to get Delirium, most likely. I have instant land locked up, but I need to find 2 other things between draw steps. I'm a little land heavy. I think this is just a mulligan. It's just too mediocre.
It does look extremely mediocre.
Yeah. This is that's one of those hands that I think a lot of people early on will just keep and then lose. And you just got to be disciplined in Modern, especially just mulligan those mediocre hands.
You need the card advantage. You need velocity. This format's, especially in a matchup like this, you kill my first 2 creatures and you surveil a little bit. If you don't find either a very sizable threat that I can't interact with, or an iteration, like there's just not much left to do.
Yeah, I basically need to find a Murktide region in like 2 draws there.
Yeah. Now, if that was a Regavan, sure, keep it. Like you're going to gain some card advantage. You've got the answers, but
Indeed. Okay, second hand. Yeah, this one is going to be a keep, and we'll have to put that one on the bottom. I will lead on 18 with a Ragavan.
all right. Well, sadly, we're going to name Elemental, and I think this has to just be worth it, right? Just get rid of it. Go.
It's going to be more than a 2-for-1 later, so.
Yeah.
Okay, now I've got an Islet and a DRC.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Guess I just play it. Thunderkin Awakener.
Sure.
Is this? No. Just
Yeah.
checking sizes.
Yeah, and stuff, I'll go to 19 to Unholy the Awakener and Surveil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave that on top. Or I'm going to 17, sorry. And attack for 1.
Please don't play iteration. No, you would have played it pretty, right?
Yeah, you're at 19. No, I just have another Ragavan. And if you hadn't pitched Fury to Fury, I think I might have dashed it, but with the threat of Fury much decreased, well, let's just cast it.
Not happy about that. All right, so I'm going to go to 17.
So we've got 17 all.
And
Risen
I'm going to
Reef.
play Risen Reef. Or maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm just going to say go.
So you still want that on tap,
Yes.
the Foundry?
Yes. I have to play Disciplined here.
That's a pretty good draw. I'll play a Bauble and Surveil.
Yep.
It's a card I kind of would like to draw, but it gets me to Delirium, so I'm going to bin the iteration.
Nice.
And then I'll Bauble you. Yep. And attack for 5.
We'll play Endurance.
I will Unholy Heat it.
No, you have it?
Yeah, I told you I got to
Oh.
Surveil.
Oh. This is stupid.
Yeah, I'll put the land there. So you're taking 5, brings
Yeah.
you to 12. I knew that was there. Hold on, I'm getting a treasure. Then I'm casting a Murktide Regent.
No!
I'll take 1 for it, go to 16.
What?
I'm going to lose Delirium off of that, and I guess we'll leave the Bauble since that's the hardest one to hit, and that's 3, so this will be a 6/6.
This isn't fair.
And I draw on your upkeep, sorry.
No, you couldn't Delirium that because I still get this trigger. You don't have a graveyard. You don't have a graveyard, buddy.
Yeah, the trigger still happens.
Yeah,
You're
all
right.
of it's gone.
Okay, so this should be in my hand.
Yeah. Let's
I still
back
draw.
this up.
I still draw on your upkeep. Then I have a treasure, and I'm at 17.
And all of these
we forgot
cards
about
are
the
gone,
trigger.
right?
Yeah, because I Unholy Heated.
Yeah, and then you Surveil to the bottom.
I was honestly curious how far y'all would get.
Oh, but I was. But I'm.
You Surveilled up the Unholy Heat.
Yeah, and this should have got. I just looked and I wasn't thinking, but this should definitely go to the graveyard. It was a second Murktide Regent, which I'm definitely not going to want when I have no graveyard. So let's put that Murktide Regent in the graveyard.
But you have a Murktide in your hand?
Yes.
Okay.
Which you know about. That gets exiled. I can't cast it. I'm at 17. I have a
Not
treasure.
exiled, They go to the bottom.
They go
Go to the bottom. Yeah, I always forget that. It's
Okay.
very weird. So that means you're not taking 5, you're taking 3.
Yes.
So you're at 14, I'm at 17. We've screwed everything up. We're professionals, and I draw on your upkeep from the Bauble.
Look, I'm just the guest, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, 17, 14. I'm drawing my card off Bauble. We're good to go.
Okay. All right. I am
Yeah,
going
forgot
to
about the actual trigger
take one
that's
down to
happening.
13.
I got a little too excited.
And I'm going to play Risen Reef and put a land into play, and I'll pass the turn.
Okay, draw. You know, Bolt Risen Reef and trigger Channeler.
If I'm right.
Tilt.
Trigger. Put it in my hand.
Yeah, I'll leave that on. Let's just bin that. It's too
Sure.
expensive. I'm going to get in with both because you have the Ephemerate coming off. So
Oh, yeah, I'm going to let it happen. I'll take 3. I'll give
brings
you
you
a
to
win.
10.
Yeah.
And I get a second treasure in the top card of your deck.
Is that a land?
It is not.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Is it my turn or?
Yeah.
All right, if I'm right.
Yep.
All right, trigger. We'll put this into play, draw for turn. Play another Risen Reef.
I'll counter that one.
Rude.
And trigger Channeler. I'll leave that on top. I'm taking one for that, going to 16.
Okay, I'll Flamekin Harbinger. But I think I'm going to let the Risen Reef happen and then Flamekin.
Sure.
Okay. Well, that's sad about how I tapped. All right. That happens, and then I'm going to go
Did you just counter a spell from a cavern?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you had
can't
Cavern?
counter it.
Was not paying
This
attention.
is so bad. Cedric's on vacation, though. It's good. We're all good. We're good. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so I'm just
Okay.
going. I'm going to reset.
Yeah.
This is my hand. I'm going to shuffle. These aren't bad cards, but we're just going to redo this, okay?
I'm at 17.
We can edit this out, right?
yeah. I'm sorry,
Yeah, we'll
chat.
fix it in post. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Okay. Risen Reef.
Yeah. I've not been paying attention to Brad's lands.
Trigger. I've not played a land this turn, right?
No.
Okay, I'm going to put that in my hand. I'm going to put this into play.
That's another cavern.
Trigger. I'm at 9.
Hit cavern.
Yeah. All right, trigger. Elementals. Put this in my hand.
So you're at 9. I'm at 17.
Elemental. Okay, and your turn.
Okay. End step. I will go to 16 and now draw 2 with my Archmage's Charm.
Trigger your thing.
Yeah. And now we're going to put this counter spell in the graveyard.
Yeah, you don't want those anymore.
Draw 2. Don't really want those either. Just have instant. That's not good. I will attack with my creatures.
This doesn't have delirium yet, right?
Correct.
Still, I'm at 9. I feel pretty safe. You have 3 cards, though.
I have 3 plus Murktide.
Yeah. 3 additional. And there's only 2 types.
There's only one type. It's just 4 instances.
Oh, sure. I'll just block here.
Okay, take 1.
Yeah.
Brings you to 8. I will crack a delta, go to 15.
And then K return?
No.
Okay.
Play. You're at 8. You have a million cards, essentially.
Next turn is going to be just not good for you.
Yeah. Okay, I
So
think
I have 3 Cavernous Souls.
I'm going to just cast Murktide going to 14.
Okay.
I have to exile 4 for that, so I'm going to leave only 2 types regardless. So let's just exile the 4 instants. Fortunately, couldn't get this big enough.
Because instants will trigger.
Yeah, we'll trigger DRC
Get it
too.
further. Okay.
I'll make a 7/7 and hopefully have lethal next turn.
My turn?
Yep.
So we're going to draw. That's one of the things that I wanted. All right, so I'm going to... Cavern doesn't matter because we're tapped out. So we'll just use our other mana for now. Going to play a Thunderkin Awakener. Triggers. Might find a better... No, I'm never going to... Oh, this is... Yeah, I have to shock, so whatever. I'll put it into play tapped. I'll put this into my hand. Combat.
Yep.
We will attack, trigger, get Risen Reef, make 3 triggers.
Yep.
Put it into play tapped. Put it in my hand. Put it in my hand. Before blockers. No, it's better to just pitch it. I'm just going to pitch this pitching Omnath.
3 triggers.
Yeah, 3 triggers.
I will go to 21.
There, before it dies. Oh no, I don't have any white because I actually tapped all of my white because I'm not thinking.
You have an Arid Mesa.
Yeah, but I don't want to shock.
Did you just tap those? No, those entered that.
Yeah, I just tapped these when I have Cavern of Souls
Yeah.
because I'm not thinking about how I can play out my turns. Okay.
Okay.
We're just going to let that die.
I'll take 4 to 17.
Yeah. Okay. And then second main, I'll play Flankin Harbinger. We'll trigger all of them first. I still haven't played my land for the turn,
Correct.
so we'll put this into play. And then I'm going to go get Fury. Okay, and then I'm going to tap these, play Omnath, 3 triggers. Put one in, put both of these in hand. Get a trigger, so I gain 4 life. And then I'll play a Cavern and I'll get all that mana.
Yep.
And then I'm going to play Cavern of Souls. Tap Cavern of Souls.
What creature type are you naming?
Oh, Elemental, of course. I'll play a Fury, get 3 triggers. I'm going to target 1, 1, and 1.
This is any creatures?
Or is it just creatures you control?
No, it's any. Okay.
Yeah, I thought so, yep. And then, so 2, 1, and 1.
Yep.
And then I'll get 3 cards. We'll do that, take 4 damage.
Brings me to 13.
And then all my Risen Reefs will die when I pass the turn to you, and I will discard an Air Mesa. And now the reason for people at home, I killed all my Risen Reefs because now I can just play all my powerful elementals and not worry about decking, not drawing 3 cards a turn. Because Ross is going to look at his hand, he's going to nod, and he's going to be like, yep, that'll do it. Say it.
That'll do it. I mean, and this is just lethal.
Yeah,
I guess
and now I have like Ephemerate.
I can kill the Thunderkin Awakener, but you have another one. Yeah, so this is 6, 10, 11, and Thunderkin itself is...
I mean, it's just like
two
you're
more
not
and you
going to
can-
be able
yeah.
to keep up with it.
Oh,
Even if
yeah.
you kill all of these, I have this. And
Sometimes you like to let the other person have their fun, but in this case, I was literally dying on the next turn.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even with the Unholy Heat that I had for that Endurance and felt good about it, just the
ability.
Just the ability was good enough because it really reduced my clocks. It basically countered Murktide Regent right out of my hand, and there's no way for me.
Much better turn 3 play than what I was going to do with Risen Reef.
Yeah, I guess I could play around Endurance there by just like casting Murktide Regent and not attacking, and maybe that's what I'm supposed to do there, just to make sure I get the Murktide down. But if you can sniff that out and just upkeep or draw step the Endurance and not care about getting the value of ambushing a creature, and either way, was the Murktide going to kill you? Because then
It might have.
well because
It was still only turn 3. I didn't have a lot. Like, if you just made an action and didn't just attack, I probably would have had to have cast it. I would have thought a little bit about it because my hand was just 2 Risen Reefs. Like, I didn't have resources at the time.
yeah, well, so if I do that, so you were at 17. I would have played like I don't think it was going to be a huge Murktide, but I don't remember exactly what was in my graveyard. Actually, I think there was a lot of stuff. I think it was going to be at least a 6/6, if not bigger. But you would have also had at least the Endurance in play to block, because I can't Unholy Heat it at that point, because I lose Delirium by casting the Murktide. And I don't get any attack in that turn. So you're just at 17. You untap, play one of your Risen Reefs. I guess I Unholy Heat it.
Yeah.
And then you do it again, and it's just a matter of you finding Solitude in time. I think.
Yeah, it's crazy that it was only 3 turns, right? I played a Risen Reef. I played a Risen Reef, and I did have the Ephemerate to help out that turn. But then it's just that turn 6 was like, I can just draw my entire deck and cast every spell.
Yeah, you really did build very, very quickly. So I don't think I would have had time to kill you, because that was turn 6. So I would have played it on turn 3 and attacked on my turn.
And I even had turns where I could have, the prior turn I could have set up Solitude.
Yeah.
And
if you
I
really,
even hard casted
need
it that one turn. Or whatever.
if you really
it was gross. It was
so I just don't think there was really anything I could do there. And the reality is that the caverns were huge, because normally you would think against the value deck with expensive cards.
Chat was huge.
Yeah, counter spells
For saving
what I want.
me.
But so the caverns, not only great for just helping fix your mana, but that's one of the best forms of interaction against you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be great against discard spells, right? Your deck is so juiced towards the late game. So yeah, impressive stuff from
that was very impressive. I can see how it won a tournament, and someone who knew what all the cards did and played them well.
To be fair, if you're playing online, then I would have just cast the counter spell and it would have done nothing, right?
That's true.
Yeah. You wouldn't have to have known what the cards do.
It would have done something. It would have been on Twitter.
Yes. Okay, so really impressive stuff here from the Elementals deck in the first two matches, and we're going to set up the third match, which is our pick for a deck that should match up well against Elementals, a deck that could be on the rise now that Elementals is the big thing and what everyone's focusing on. And I know I saw Dom Harvey tweet about forwarding a prelim with a different build of the deck I'm about to play in the third match, so we are not the only ones with our eyes on this as a way to go over the top. And that is going to be the Bring to Light Scape Shift deck. Valakut, always a card that goes over the top. It's the ramp card, but this is a Scape Shift deck. Very different than what we're used to seeing in Modern's past.
But yeah, that's just it. That's the thing about Modern, and that's why we picked these decks. Is the evolution is that the format started with Hammer really dominating things, and then these Elemental decks pick up. So these big Scape Shift effects could really dominate a match like this, because we're both trying to build to something. But I'm trying to build to something that kills creatures.
Yeah.
And you're trying to build to something that kills you.
That kills players.
Yeah. That kills players, yeah.
So we're going to take a 5-minute break here, set up that third match, see if I can get on the board here with a deck that should, give me an edge, and wrap up our gauntlet here with 4-color elementals. So
before we go, can I say the thing Corey always says?
Sure.
And Rob, is there any questions we got from chat from this last match? Yeah, I did it. I did it so well. I got it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, what are they?
Let's take it. We'll take a question or two, and then we'll take our break.
Before Cool Duck Boy wanted to know, do you think that the mill deck can still be a player in the format, or is it kind of petered out?
I think the mill deck is just a solid tier 2 deck. It seems like a reasonable deck against elementals. Yes, they have a high curve, so your Tasha's Hideous Laughters aren't as good, but they don't apply a ton of pressure. And they have a bunch of cards that kill creatures that you can largely ignore. They have counter spells and discard spells and ways to exile their graveyard. They can get around things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, endurance is a problem.
But they have solutions.
Yeah, but if your matchup is structurally good, but they have one problematic card, that's usually pretty easy to work around, right? And then obviously I think that deck is just a solid tier 2 deck. It's another linear deck. It's not quite as fast as Hammer. It's more powerful than you think at this point with Fractured Sanity and Tasha's Hideous Laughter. But it's never going to be the best deck in the metagame. It's just not capable of doing that.
It's difficult too, because it's kind of like a Lava Spike deck.
Yeah, it's exactly Lava Spike deck.
But 50 is more than 20, and I know that the numbers are different. But there's no real repeatables. I guess there's crabs. Okay, it is just a Lava Spike deck.
It is just a Lava Spike deck. Your cards are a little bit more efficient in terms of how much they Lava Spike, but you have to spike about 45 to 50 cards in a given game, sometimes more if they recycle, but that's just like playing against Life Gain, like playing against Eldrazi. It's the same thing. And you have some control elements, just the way the burn deck can play Searing Blaze or just kill your creatures with some burn spells early. You're playing some counter spells or fatal pushes or what have you. You get to block small creatures with your crabs and things like that. So, but the problem is just the deck is so one note, and you devote so many slots to it, you can't really transform and transition into anything different. So, you're always going to be a deck that needs to take people by surprise, because if they're prepared, they're going to beat you.
Now, my answer is it good? Kind of. Should you play it? No. Don't be that person. No one likes that person. Mill is stupid, and no one should play it. All right. Now, any other questions?
You're going to anger a lot of people with that. Yeah, all of chat now just is against Brad Nelson, so, you know.
Oh, well, what's changed?
They're just more against you.
Yeah.
Now they have an actual reason to be.
It feels like 2019 again.
I will say, Todd did have a question, is for Brad. Is Elementals a good deck for someone who doesn't know what the cards do?
It's fantastic. It's amazing. It plays itself, kind of. When you back up and stuff. It's great. All right,
Okay.
cool.
So like I said, we're going to take a 5-minute break, get that last match set up, and we will be right back to finish out our Gauntlet episode with Elementals here on Versus Live. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
I'm Brad Nelson.
And we've got Rob in the booth say Corey's the better brother, Rob.
Corey's the better brother, Rob.
That's harsh.
Well, I'm out of here.
harsh.
That's done.
Why would you say something like that, Rob? This is mean.
I mean, you know,
Say Ross is very happy that Brad's back, Rob.
Ross is very happy that Brad's back, Rob.
Nice.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. It is the final match of our Modern 4-color Elementals Gauntlet show. And so far, the Elementals deck has looked mighty impressive, taking down some matches, coming back from tight spots.
Pilot. I mean, I've been practicing all week. Like,
Well,
kind of mastered the archetype.
well, Mr. Master, now is your greatest test. I'm going to be playing Bring to Light Scape Shift in the final round. This is the deck that we isolated as something that should line up well against Elementals. Just go over the top of what you're doing, not care too much about your creature removal, though Dryad can be an important card, and both Fury and Solitude answer it. So, and I've got Omnass, again, both Fury and Solitude answering those. So at least I do have some targets for your creature removal, and they're high-value targets. But just the Valakut plane, you don't really interact with it very well. I can,
I don't interact with it at all.
Yeah. It's also very difficult for you to play around the, you got some.
I got
answers.
Alpine Moon.
It's also very difficult for you to just play around what the things that Bring to Light does. Because if you play too much into the battlefield and try to pressure me, then I can just get Supreme Verdict and blow you out. Or if you play too light, then I can get Valky, cast Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter, and take over the game with just that one card. Or if the game goes long enough, it just gets Scape Shift and wins the game.
And I mean that's what we're going to find out with this build of the deck, right? Because this is designed to have ways to rebuild the board very quickly.
Yeah.
So I kind of force you to Supreme Verdict, and then I might be able to put a sizable force onto the battlefield that threatens lethal again the very next turn.
Yeah, this is the matchup where the Thunderkin Awakeners, I think, should come up even bigger, and they have looked good in the other two matchups, too. So excited to see what they do here. I'm going to be on the play for game one, and I have an unfortunate hand. I am going to, I think, mulligan this one. If I had a fetch land with this Wrenn and 6, I'd be a lot more apt to keep. But because I don't, and I have some of my weaker cards in the matchup, my actual weakest card in Chalice the Void, this is going to be a mulligan.
I, again, think my hand is not good, but I'm going to keep it. Dumb mulligan. Like, I've been this whole COVID, I've been isolated, and, like, my only test partner's been Seth. Seth Manfield. And so, I don't mulligan anymthis
Well, I'm just thinking that it's just like Corey. He never mulligans either.
Is this a genetic trait? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
No, it's just, it's nature and nurture, right?
Yeah. I guess we know where Corey gets it from.
Yeah. Does he win more?
He has been recently.
Yeah, that's right.
For the first 2 or 3 months of 2021, I was winning probably 90% of the shows, but for the last 2 months, I think he's been winning 90% of the shows. So it was going around, and that was real, or it was coming around, and I liked that part. And now it's going around. I don't like that part at all.
No. I mean, I wish you won the last one so I can actually take the marbles home with me.
Jesus Christ.
The joke wasn't that good, Ross. It wasn't even a joke. Wrenn and 3?
Send that one back.
So before we did Versus Live, this is a fun fact way back in the day, we always had this internal debate that I loved. So this is when the show was just put up on...
It was pre-recorded. It was the Versus series.
The Versus series. And I always thought that in it, because I don't want people to mulligan to 5 that often, that I liked you go 7, 6, 6, 5. Now, obviously, we mulligan because that was a different mulligan rule, and this one's really good. Also, I want Ross to lose this match, so I just sweep him. So I'm glad you're going to 5, and I hope you go to 4.
It's literally just like having Corey here. Corey literally chants 4.
Does he?
when I mulligan to 6.
When he's talking to 6, he's judging 4.
Yes. Generally, it's a 4 chant followed by a requesting of additional
4 chant or 4 chant?
4 chant.
4 chant.
Yeah. Okay. Third hand. It's gonna be a keeper. It's not good.
Maybe
I mean, this is just Ross on Versus Live for the past 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
I will lead on a Valakut the Molten Pinnacle.
That is a good first land. Tap land for me.
It doesn't affect much, but maybe it does something. I will go to 18 and play a Chalice the Void on 1.
All right.
No Flamekin Harbingers for you until you draw a Cavern. No, also stops Ephemerate.
Mostly that.
And the neat thing is that these Chalice decks are taken to playing Prismatic Ending, so they have a removal spell that can get through Chalice that is still relevant on turn 1 if you're like on the draw against a Ragavan.
Yeah. Elemental Harbinger. I think I'm just going to go get Omnath.
Which one?
The 4-mana one.
Okay, well, I have a Misty Rainforest and a pass of the turn.
All right. Oh, yeah, I draw this.
Yep.
Okay, and then I will attack for 1. Crack.
I'm at 17.
Fritch, take 2.
You're at 17. This sounds like a Risen Reef to me.
Oh, yes, it is a Risen Reef.
It's going to resolve. Take this time to crack my own fetch land.
And this is the part of Versus Live where I'm like, what are life totals? Oh, that's bad.
I'm fetching to 16 here. So I
I'm at
shocked
17.
and fetched. Yeah. Where are you? Yep. I wanted Rogger and Triome. This deck has quite a few Triomes so that it gets to cast its 4 colors worth of spells and have enough mountains for natural Valakutting.
I do actually love the Fetch Triumph addition to this format.
Yeah, it's opened up a lot of different things. Okay, I will play a Ketria Triome and pass the turn.
Okay. That'll be nice later. I don't have to play around anything, right? I can just attack. Like, there's nothing that's
14.
gonna trick me. I'll just go to 16 and get a forest and then play that.
Do you want to draw a card first or Risen Reef first?
What should I do? Should I roll to see? I don't know. Is there an advantage?
I don't know.
It's just completely random, right? All right.
I guess there's there's no decision on Risen Reef because since you've already
Odd,
put a land.
I'll draw. It was odd. All right, so we'll draw first, and then we will put this in my hand. Draw second. Your turn.
I would like to play an Omnath.
Ooh. Do you have the correct fetch?
Draw a card.
Yeah. It's all going to happen. Uh-oh. Do you have Bring to Light? Uh-oh.
But I can't. Yeah, that's fine. I can just bring a light for 4. So I'm gonna
Why can't you Bring to Light for 5?
There's no untapped black sources. The black sources are all Triumphs.
Oh, okay.
But I don't need to bring light for 5. So that's a Winthrop Heath I drew. I'm gonna end up gaining 4 to 18, and then losing 1 to fetch, going to 17.
What are you gonna get?
Feels like I can just get a basic and save myself some.
Oh, I don't care about your land. I care about the Bring to Light.
Oh, I'm getting Tibble.
Oh, okay.
I think that's. I mean, I don't want to. I guess I could Supreme Verdict, but Tybalt should let me. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should have just Verdicted this turn and Omnath next turn, but I couldn't do that because I drew the fetch off the Omnath. That was the thing. So I think I just want to Tybalt, but maybe that's bad. Because I can Tybalt and either like plus and get to 7. Then at the very least you can't attack it down if you Fury the Omnath, and I get to untap with Tybalt. and I can minus on your Omnath, then it's on 2, and if you have Fury, it's dead, but you don't have an Omnath, and you could go nuts. If you have 2 Furies, I'm basically just dead, which you could easily have. Maybe. What is my mana looking like? Yeah, I'm gonna get planes here with the fetch.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the Tibble, and I'm gonna plus.
You're at 13.
Yeah.
Aw. So that goes to 7.
Yes.
Well, I should probably be able to kill that fairly easily with this third ability and this in play. I'm not too afraid of it, but you will get another Chalice.
Oh, great.
All right, my turn.
Yep.
Untap, draw. That is actually just a spectacular draw. Still not the easiest decision making here. Like, I don't know how crazy I can get with this hand. If I should just pitch everything. I think so, because I can like find better cards. All right, so we'll start with Solitude, pitching
Drew
Ephemerate.
Solitude?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because otherwise you just respond to my fetch.
Yeah, target that. But I don't know if I want to give you all that life, but whatever.
I go to 21.
You go to 21? Oh, yeah, because you gained. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's impressive. All right, trigger. We will put this land into play. I'll gain life up to 21.
Up to 20. You were at 16.
20, sure. Okay. So then that's 1 land. That's 2 lands. We have all the mana.
Yeah, white, blue, red, green.
I'll use green, white, and I have 2 floating to play Voice of Resurgence. I'll draw this, and then and this just deals and each planeswalker. Okay, so then I'll crack
19.
4 to you and your planeswalker.
Going to 17. I'll go to 17.
Or I might not do, because I have 3 mana right now. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it tapped.
So you're at 19.
Yeah. And then with the 3 mana floating, I'll cast a Fury, deal 4 to that. And then trigger. Oh, wow, I wish I did it the other way. Oh. Oh, that's so sad. Okay. Attack for 6.
I go to 11.
Your turn. That's so sad. I'm going to be heartbroken if I lose this game.
Let's cast this Risen Reef.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Put that into my hand. Cast and explore.
Sure.
1 land, 2 lands, and pass the turn.
All right, so what's your life total?
11.
11. Okay.
Can you kill my Risen Reef?
Oh, yeah, I can. All right, so let's start with deal 4 to it.
Yeah, I'm dead. I had a pretty good next turn, though.
Give me a second. Give me a second. I need to find land.
No, you don't. I'm literally dead.
All right, we'll play a Thunderkin. Trigger. Sack trigger.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to have a good next turn.
No, you were not going to have a good next turn. I drew that when I had 2 mana, and if I pitched this, I could have cast it last turn. I was like, aw.
Yeah, so I had Omnath. My hand was Omnath, Scape Shift, Bring to Light, and I had 4 lands in play. And I drew Valakut, which is kind of tilting.
Yeah.
So I play the Omnath, I draw the fetch, and I think I'm supposed to exile your Omnath. and just knowing that I'm probably losing the Tybalt regardless, and that's going to slow you down, and then hope that I have enough time to set up my escape shift.
Yeah, I would have liked that more. Yeah.
I think that but given your hand, like, you're just going to lightning skelemental me, and I'm going to have no resources, so. Hard to do that on mulligan to 5.
No, I just think you got outplayed. I don't think mulligan to 5 and you had no real gas had anything to do with it.
Mulligan to 5, draw 2 chalices.
It did work. I had ephemerates that were going to be good.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, do we got any questions in chat? Comments or concerns are also viable.
We don't right now.
No questions? Chat. Interact. Say what's up. Say hey. How you doing? How's your Thursday afternoon? Or evening or morning?
As Rob is fond of saying, everyone always says, "What's up, Rob?" No one asks, "How is Rob?" You could be that person, chat.
And for years, I've been constantly asking, "Why is Rob?"
It's a good question.
One that philosophers have been pondering for ages. I think Kant wrote a treatise on it.
Okay, well, this is a mulligan.
We found a hand even Brad wouldn't keep.
I don't know. That's one Corey would keep.
What?
On the draw? He might.
No.
He is loose.
That does seem loose.
The best part is he'd probably win with that hand, too.
Oh, yeah, he'll draw like perfect.
As we see Ross have an existential crisis.
And the hand is fine. It's just not the card. Like, it's a good mix of stuff. It's just not the stuff I really want in this matchup. I'm going to keep. Good hand.
It's a very good hand.
So here's an actual question. For y'all, has Amulet fallen off your tier 1 pedestal?
Amulet has fallen off my tier anything pedestal.
Yeah,
I have not seen the deck in the top 32 of a tournament in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, and Amulet people are out there. They're trying. Or they were.
The problem here is, one, they don't stop Ragavan well. Like, lists they were trying to play like a million Arboreal Grazers to do it, but this is not ideal. 2, all of the red decks can now just kill Primeval Titan for 1 mana.
It's a big one.
Yeah, and you know, if you still had Field of the Dead, I think it would be fine. You would just build towards that field end game, and find a way to deal with like DRCs flying over or whatever. But you don't have that powerful of an end game. It's just the Urza Sagas. And Saga is nice for accelerating you into Titan, but if everybody kills Titan for 1 mana, like, you're just, the deck isn't nearly as resilient as it used to be. And if it's not going to be resilient, then your Titans need to live, and it's both less resilient and your Titans die a lot more easily.
My top 2 cards were so good for my hand, but I just had to mulligan.
Are you going to 4?
I'm going to 4.
3.
You remember when mulliganing to 4 was just this and be like, I lose. All right, these and
now you get to feel like you had some agency before you lose. I'll lead on a Windswept Heath.
I'll play a Triome.
I will fetch for a Triome. In this case, mine will be Ketria.
So I got 1 pack of this set during COVID. I don't even know why, but I got one. I think it was actually the BLM Coalesce shirt when I bought it. I think they sent a booster pack. And Eric did the same thing, Ephro, and he told me about his rip, and I'm like, how are you so lucky all the time? And I opened my packet, and it was a foil one of these and a regular Teamer one. I just had a double dual land pack.
That's pretty good.
It was.
I'll go to 17 and play a Chalice in 1.
All right. I will go to 20, name elementals, and bam. Take it.
16.
Take it. Are you sure? Positive?
Crack Heath, go to 15.
Are we going lower?
No.
Are
Go
we
to
playing a
Forest.
Dryad?
No, I am playing a Teferi Time Raveler,
All right.
and I am plussing it.
Seems like a good plus.
Pass the turn.
Who?
The decision there was just what land I want to get with what fetch land.
I go to 18. I'm going to play a Risen Reef, and I will put a fetch land into play, and I will attack to Fairy.
Teferi to 4.
And I'm at 18. So we got 15 to 18?
Yep. Green, white, blue, prismatic ending the Risen Reef for 3.
Well, that's just kind of rude. And it's exiled.
Yep. Plus Teferi. Pass the turn.
Untap. Draw. I guess that's the play. Crack both of these.
Furying.
Yeah. So I'm at 16, and I'll be going to 14 because I can get a forest as a basic, and then I have to get a duel, and that duel is the first one I see, and a second one. Blue, yeah, that seems fine. All right, and then I'll play Fury, deal 4 to it, and then finish it off in your turn. Oh, wait. I screwed this up. Yeah, I grab the forest, I play Omnoth, I draw a card, and then I fetch.
For the Sacred Foundry?
Yeah, I can cast both. Because this was in my hand. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I'm not trying to get you. And I mean, if you Wrath, like, it's even better, but I should definitely make that play. So
And you gain 4. So you're at 18,
Yeah.
and I'm at 15. Well, I have my own Omnath.
Ooh.
Okay, gain 4, crack fetch. So I'm going to end at 18 as well.
Sorry about that, chat. I haven't played with Omnath in so long that I forgot that you just get to 5 mana. Like, after it. I was thinking I was just getting to 4.
Looks like I have to shock here. Is this really my... Yeah, I guess those are my only options. Have enough green. Wait. No, I need to get green. That's it. Oh, I guess I don't actually. Yeah, so I'll get Sacred Foundry.
Going to 16.
So I'm at 16. Make my 4 mana.
Yeah.
I will float a red and play Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Then I'll tap Sacred Foundry for green and play Renin 6.
All right.
And plus on a land. And do I want to play it this turn and just...
Didn't you already play land? Oh, yeah. And you can deal 4
yeah,
to me.
and I can just deal 4 to you. Well, let's get the Heath, actually. Yeah, I guess I'll just deal you 4.
Sure.
You go to 14. I'm at 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll pass the turn.
That's bad for me. That was just... Whew, that draw. Whew, that draw. It's really frustrating, because a land I could have played this, and that could have made my life a lot better. I guess... You got 1 card in hand. If it's really good, then the game's over. So, like, it doesn't actually matter what I do here. But I'm just going to send both at Renin 6.
Yep. So I'm either going to lose Ren or Dryad is the question, and Dryad is better. So yeah, Ren down.
All right, and your go.
In step, I'll crack this, go to 15, and then go up to 19.
Yep. Is your last card good?
Nope. Let's get the black source. In case I draw Valky.
That doesn't matter, right? Because of that. It could matter if you kill it and yada, yada,
exactly.
yada.
Could matter at some point. Okay, so I am at 19 now. We got 19 to 14.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
No. Or is that raw sarcasm?
I'm gonna lose to a mulligan before.
Oh no, really? You can get aggressive, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to trade on the backswing, so I might as well attack for 6.
Yeah.
Brings you to 8. I will play a Chalice on 1 and pass the turn.
Wow. Does that change how I want to play this? I think it does. This deck, if you draw Scape Shift with a 7th, if you had a 7th land in Scape Shift, it doesn't matter if this is in play, right?
Yeah, there's 9 mountains in the deck.
There's 9, and you have...
So I have 6 left.
Okay, yeah, so that's not going to matter.
If I drew a mountain as my 7th land, I'd have 5 left, so I'd still be able to 15 you.
So I don't have lethal. You're at 19. I have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay.
Yeah, that's 15. I did the math.
Shoot.
How many ephemerates did you draw?
I don't even know what's in your deck. All right, I'm going to attack you for 11.
I will go to 8. Got 8 all.
And then I'll Fury your own mouth. And your turn.
Three.
Oh.
You can go.
All right. So that's going to have to block this turn.
Yep.
But luckily... Oh, wait, you're at 8?
Yeah.
That's 5,
that's
6,
7.
7. Oh, well, wait. Okay, so this gets blocked. This is 5, 6, 7, and you're at 8?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I guess we'll just play another one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there, take it. Take the damage. Take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
No matter what I played this third chalice on, Brad can just play the other one with the cavern.
Yep.
Not that this would have done anything, because you were also at 8.
I need my
Oh no, you had
back.
the dry. Yeah, the drive was gone. Yeah.
Yeah, it was short 2 last turn for that play.
I would say I lost to a mulligan to 4, but I was also on a mulligan to 4.
Yeah, your deck didn't function. Like, that's definitely what happened that game.
Okay, we're going to take a short break here while we get some sideboarding set up, and then we will finish out this match, and I will hopefully find something to live for. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Bring to Light, Scape Shift, and 4-color Elementals. On my side, another matchup where my sideboard just doesn't have cards that I really want, much like match 1, but I do have cards I want to bring out, and those are Chalice of the Voids. It's not effective in a matchup where your curves are high and you have Cavern. So they're coming out. Mystical Dispute, even though it's also bad against Cavern, has the most upside of any of the cards in my sideboard, and Teferi is at least just a generically good card.
Just think about the content.
Even though you're playing nothing but ETB ability creatures, but most of the I don't really mind giving up a little bit of value because my deck is eventually going over the top. I just need to buy time.
Yep.
So that aspect is not that problematic in a matchup like this. If I were playing like a Jeskai control deck, it would be a lot more problematic to give up that value. But here I've got that escape shift play that should just end the game, and hopefully I get to do it.
Yeah, I'm just going to take out these weird elementals that I keep taking out and bringing in some Alpine Moons.
Yeah.
Now, how does the Larry work with Alpine Moon and Triad and Valakut? Like, if I play this, I don't die to it, right?
Yeah, Valakut loses all its abilities.
Okay.
Even if Dryad will make it other things and tap for other colors of mana, but it won't have the lightning
So does
bolting
Alpine
ability.
Moon too, right? That's how Alpine Moon works. Allows them to tap for any color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except Urza the Saga, that ain't tapping for any other colors.
Yeah, I got to learn that interaction the hard way. It was actually with Spreading Seas. When I was just went to go tap my island for blue, and Rob's like, no, chat says your land just dies immediately. Yeah, and I just looked at it, I was like, there is no way that is true.
No. I will say, 5 years ago, when I could keep up with literally everything in Magic, I was so much smarter than chat, but now it's just my repo.
Yeah.
And but it's like a game of Minefield, because every once in a while, you just implode on yourself because of something you listen to.
You're just the blindfolded person, and they're walking you around, and every once in a while, they just walk you straight into a wall.
They're just like, yeah, a new set comes out next Thursday. I'm like, what? Are you serious?
They're reprinting Ancestor Recall. What?
Could you please explain? There's just not a one calendar with everything anymore, And so chat's like, oh yeah, there's a tournament this week. I'm like, oh, I might play that.
I'll keep. I will lead on Wooded Foothills.
I will lead on Wooded Foothills, but I'm going to go to 17. I'm going to play a Flamekin Harbinger off of a Stomping Ground.
What are you searching for?
I don't know. I just find that Stomping Grounds first. All right. I'm going to go get this elemental.
Skelly Belly.
Scally Valley. I think that's what I should go get. I mean, it's the fun thing to do, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to be at 19 for my fetch for a Triome. You're at 17?
Yep. It's the fun thing to do.
I'll go to 17, play Wrenn and 6, and ping the Harbinger.
Rude.
Pass the turn.
Rude. What'd you do? I could just have the creature and kill it.
Oh, true. I guess I can't do that.
I mean, you can do it if you want to.
No, yeah, I've
It seems aggressive.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll attack that. I'm going to name Valakut.
Yep.
Play that as I go.
It is very aggressive. I will play an island, play a Dryad, and then play Wooded Foothills, crack it, and plus to rebuy. Just going to get the Savai Triome. I'm at 16 after that fetch.
I'm also at 16.
You're at 16.
All right, draw.
Notice how the game after I board out my chalices, you don't have Cavern and have 2 1-drops.
This is kind of annoying.
Yeah, the Wrenn and 6 is pretty good against Lightning Skill Elemental because I can just recoup the card advantage pretty easily.
Yeah,
or you can just attack the Wrenn.
Yeah, I'm just going to check the Wrenn.
And yeah, Wrenn will just die. I like my Dryad.
This will die. Your turn.
Probably going to get Thunderkind.
Don't feel good about this game because you're actually having a functional draw.
Yeah, weird. Got two options for this turn.
Probably shouldn't have went for that. I just wanted to. I think it wasn't that good of a choice.
You have 4 in hand?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of want to just do this. I think it's the safest play because it's going to be pretty hard for you to attack it down. So, yeah, I'll play land and bring to light.
Okay. And you're gonna go get the.
And we'll go get Tybalt.
Great. And it goes up to 7.
Yes. Let's see your top card. That's kind of neat. Then I'll play... That doesn't have any abilities yet, but it is a tapped land, so let's just play the Valakut and pass the turn.
Oh, that's just terrible.
Terrible for whom?
For me, seems very, very bad for me.
Oh, I like Just Risen Fear.
Yeah, I don't. All right, your go.
Play Teferi.
That's bad, yeah.
Ooh, no responses?
Oh, maybe I should. But I feel like I'm just gonna die. No, I think I'm just dead.
So Teferi good? Ephemerate Harbinger. Resolves.
All right, I'm gonna draw for this first.
Yep.
Or no, I have to get it
yeah.
because of the Tybalt. All right, I'll get
Solitude. Oh.
I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with your Planeswalkers without trying to do something like this.
Yeah.
And then that goes to my hand. Off of the Risen Trigger.
Okay. And then Teferi resolves?
Yes.
Okay. Now... I would like to Prismatic Ending the Alpine Moon. Do I want to just bounce the Harbinger? Do I want to waste a bolt on it? You're at 16 right now. So I do want to just draw a card. So I have a lot of good draws.
Did you see what happens with your thing first?
With what thing?
Tybalt.
Well, Tybalt also could be minusing, but unlikely, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Tybalt's also just going to plus. Perfect. I'll minus with no target.
Oh, wow.
And I just get to kill both your things.
No, I know.
So I will play these lands and kill both your things. And I still have a fetch land up for... maybe no. Let's leave you with the Harbinger.
Okay.
Because I want to... Or actually, no. I'm still going to kill both things. But I want to have another fetch land up in case you have another Ephemerate.
Yep.
And...
Well, I can't have another Ephemerate because of Teferi.
Oh, yeah, sure. Maybe you have like Fury into Ephemerate. Yeah, if you had like Fury into Ephemerate. But then you just Fury this.
That was the card I randomly... Well, that helps. I think I still... I'm going to play this... Crack it.
Yep.
Draw. How many actual mountains do you have in play?
1, 2, 3.
3.
So I will not be able to use Valakut if you remove Dryad.
I think I still want to do that. All right, I'm going to Fury this and pitching Alpine Moon.
I'm actually going to lose everything, aren't I?
No,
I can't deal with Tibble.
I can't deal with Tibble.
I'm going to float some mana with these fetch lands.
Okay. Go to combat.
Use the mana to cycle a Triumph.
Okay.
Okay, you can go to combat.
Attack, trigger, get back the elemental. And you have 3 cards in hand?
Yeah.
Still think I need to...
You have to go to Tibble to die.
Oh, yeah.
Because I get to ultimate and I have Dryad, bring the leg back. Yeah. So Tibble to 3, Fairy down.
Sacked. And your turn.
Okay. Plus...
Not bad.
Blue-white, Prismatic ending the Awakener.
That's bad.
Red-green, play the Teferi, or the Red and 6.
Yeah.
Plus on Rogern Triome.
Mm-hmm.
And... play Stomping Ground. And pass the turn.
Play Risen Reef.
I shouldn't play Stomping Ground from my hand. I should play your 6 counter.
Yeah. Play Risen Reef.
That's better. Yep.
Draw. Go.
Plus,
We know that the show is ending
Tibble?
soon, but we got to go into overtime here because we got to give Ross, the time in the sun here.
I just need to find spells.
I'll go to 15. Actually, no, I'm going to keep this in my hand. Keep this in play.
I'll tick down on the Risen Reef. Cycle here. Red, white, green, blue, play Omnath, draw a card.
Oof.
Play Valakut, gain 4. Put me to 20. So now I could just deal you another 7 or another 10 by getting 2 mountains. I'll put you to 6, and then a mountain will kill you. Unless you find your own Omnath, which won't do a whole
Shouldn't you
lot.
just hold it?
Well, then I don't get the 3rd trigger off this.
Who
But I guess it
cares?
doesn't matter. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can go.
Save it, and for the only chance I have is if I combo off, and that's actually removal spells, right?
It's 1 removal. Well, yeah, it's 2 bolts.
Yeah, I'm giving up.
Yeah, I just have lands in hand.
Yeah,
I've got
but you
more
have,
than enough.
Yeah, you've got more than enough.
Yeah, I had the option. I could have. I bring the light in for the Tibalt there, and I could have done something else that was somewhat worse, but then held this to try to go for a quick scape shift. But the Tibalt just seems so good.
I didn't get the sweep in the bad matchup.
I mean, sure. but you got the sweep on the day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So much more functional draw there from my deck, and you got to see a lot more of what it's supposed to be doing in this matchup.
Yes.
And the Alpine Moons, did not look particularly good. That's a card that has generally been effective against like the red-green like Titan Shift deck because they need to actively just draw an answer to it. But I just have so many built-in answers, and they usually just didn't have any. Like they'd have to bring in a specific disenchant. But now with the Prismatic Ending and Teferi, you can just bounce it for a turn and go off with the Scape Shift if you need to set up that way. There's just not a whole lot that the Alpine Moon does.
Yeah, I mean, I maybe I have to play this format a little bit more, but these like Renin 6 Teferi shells, they're very powerful, but they just don't feel that robust. They're just a lot of good stuff, right? And
yeah, and then there's the powers from Bring to Light, like going over the top, or Indomitable Creativity. That's another thing that they do to go over the. So it's Renin 6 Teferi and something that goes over the top and cheap interaction.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it's just a ton of mythics, just a ton of powerful effects.
There are builds of this deck that instead of playing Chalice, play Fire Ice, which is a nice card to give you a little bit more early interaction.
Yeah.
That could be a better way of going.
Depends on the format, but I can
yeah, and I think you're already pretty good against the the 1-mana mid-range decks, and Fire Ice is pretty good against them anyway, right?
Yeah.
Killing early DRCs and Ragavans, or sometimes you just get to tap down a land and set up your combo through their counterspell if they're the is it version of the deck. So a somewhat disappointing showing, but I think that drawing as many chalices as I did in the first two games certainly played a part in it.
Well, yeah, I did stuff in game 2. I barely function in game 2. You flood it out and draw your dead cards. Like that's magic.
Yeah. So game 3 is more what you're gonna see out of this deck. And I was doing my thing. Your Skelemental didn't do a whole lot because it was torn. It needed to attack
I don't think it was
planeswalkers.
supposed to be what I should have gotten. Maybe it was an Omnath. I don't know. Like I just had a very weak draw, and you actually came out of the gates with all of the problems, and I couldn't generate card advantage.
Yeah, you didn't have the turn 3 Risen Reef. Instead, you were just going for the Skelemental.
Well, I didn't because you had the Renin 6.
Yeah.
And it was just going to kill it, and I needed the Ephemerate. Then you had the Fairy for that turn, and it just, once Tibalt was in play, it was just disgusting. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. This deck does not have a lot of aggression early. I literally can't muster up an offense. I can just go over the top and kill things with value. And if I don't find the value, that's why I don't think getting the Elemental was correct.
Yeah. Maybe you needed to find either Omnath or Fury as better ways to deal with.
Maybe even just a second Risen Reef, just to start churning through my deck.
Yeah, force me to take a turn and kill one, and then you've got more, and there's definitely a lot of options with these decks.
Yep.
That's the tough part, and that's the fun part.
Oh yeah,
this modern format, not only is the metagame dynamic, but the gameplay is really interesting. Even in the linear matchups, the hammer deck can play really, really interesting games against the interactive decks.
Long games.
Yes. So there's not a lot of the two ships passing the night that Modern used to be known for 4 or 5 years ago.
No, not at all. I actually think that it's and that's the best thing about it. I think a lot of the power right now is in the threats, and because of that, it's created these great plain main deck removal spells.
But it's in the threats that go into fair strategies as opposed to power in the threats that go into unfair strategies.
Yes, like a new dredge card or something.
Yeah. Why didn't you print that? Why couldn't we get Golgari Gravehenge and it costs 9 and gains me 2 life when a creature enters the battlefield and I draw cards?
If we weren't there, the new looting card, the colorless red,
Faithless Salvaging?
Faithless Salvaging might have been 1 mana. if we didn't get our dirty... Yeah, that deck was pretty good. We're this card can't be 1 mana. I mean, it's the best. It would be the best 1-drop.
I mean, I've seen that card do good things at 2 mana.
Yeah, but just at 1, it's turn 1, dredge 6.
Yeah, turn 2, do it again. And
yeah.
Oh,
it was gross. It was very good. Yeah, just
getting a little warm now. We could have another dredge day here on Versus Live. We should have a day with all of the old designs of cards that you remember from testing the set.
If I can remember them.
Yeah. But only the busted ones that go into decks that I like.
I might have to talk to Wizards to prove that one.
Yeah,
we do know that when you ask permission, you don't get it.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we'll table that idea. But we are nearing the end of the show, so why don't we thank some subs and we'll thank sponsors and get out of here. Rob.
All right. Goalie gave out 10 subs today. So thank you to them for that. Papa John's
many.
Napkins
That's a lot.
resubscribed. They've been subscribed for 40 months.
My favorite name.
And Histeus subscribed, and they've been subscribed for 24 months. Thank you to all of our subs and all those subs today.
That is impressive.
Yeah, thank you very much for that support. If you would like to support Star City Games in another way, you can join SCG Premium. $7.99 a month will get you access to exclusive content from our wonderful staff of content creators, including both Brad and myself, as well as some other perks, which are 5% off of sealed product, 10% off of singles, and 15% off of supplies. So head on over to starcitygames.com/join-premium and sign up today.
I mean, I think the most impressive thing that's happening right now, if you get premium, is free entries into the SCG Tour Online events. It's just the same price. So if you play in any of them, you have to pick. You either play in the satellite number 3 or 5, or both. But they are free events for SCG Premium members, and they cost the exact same. So if you get premium, you get a free entry.
Yeah, and that SCG Tour Online is going on right now. It is a path to both set championships for that side of organized play, as well as the Invitational being held at SCG Con at the end of October on Halloween weekend. So how that works is there are 8 satellites a week at varying times. You can check the schedule at starcitygames.com/SCG Tour online to get more information on everything. Those satellites are 6-round events. If you go 4 and 2 or better, you will qualify for the qualifier at the end of the week. If you go 5 and 1, you'll get 1 bye. 6 and 0 will get you 2 byes for that end of the week qualifier, which is a big event with a ton of other prizes as well.
And if you really want to go, you can get 3 byes now, but you have to grind multiple events.
Yeah. And you build a bunch of points, and the points will qualify you for, either of those things that I mentioned. So you can get all the information at the URL that I mentioned as well. So check out the SCG Tour Online. This week is standard still?
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything's standard. Standard.
All standard all the time. So if you are a fan of that format, as Bradley Nelson is,
I'm gonna say it. I thought the last standard format was just a hot pile. I hated it.
Yeah.
But right now I like it because enough actual interaction has come into the format that it's pushed like the soul tie out, Burning Hands has, and now so the big decks, it's very aggressive. It's a very forward facing.
Elder Gargaroth got a lot worse.
Yes, but that's great because now soul tie is not just this trump card in the format.
Now you can be aggressive again.
Yeah, and right now it's difficult to figure out all the interaction, and I love the fact that there's these threat and interactive things happening right now. So standard is actually in a much better place than it was last season. Still, though, we only got a month left of this. So if I don't say any bad words to anyone that's like, I'm done. I don't want to get milled by a rogue deck again. I don't want to get hit by an Embercleave. I am tapping out for it. Be my guest. But it is better if you want to give it a shot. Yeah. It is better than it previously was.
And qualifying for that SCG Con or the Invitational at SCG Con is going to be a big event, super fun. We would love to see you all here in Roanoke at the end of October.
It's always a blast. I love the SCG Cons are actually. I'm biased because I even traveled in to play the last one, and I still had a blast. They're so much fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Next up, our order of business is selling cards. The return of paper magic means a lot of our collections are a little outdated, and we've got to sell some cards we don't need, pick up some new cards that we do. And Star City Games is always buying cards, and the process has never been easier because there's so many ways to do it. You can use the buy list feature on the website. You can mail your cards in and let SCG do the work for you. You can make an appointment and come into the store to do your business in person. And if your collection is big enough, you can make that appointment and have SCG come to you. So pick whichever works best for your situation, and do always keep in mind that when you're trading in your cards to SCG for store credit, you will get a 30% bonus on that trade-in. Next order of business is the weekly Star City Games sale. This week's sale, I believe, is 20% off of select gaming supplies. 25%, even better. 25% off of select gaming supplies. You can find all the information of what is on sale at starcitygames.com/sale. And do keep in mind that sale will end at 10:59 a.m. Eastern time this coming Monday. So you still got a few days.
All this stuff? Where's I don't see a teleprompter. Like, how do you know all of? Where is this coming from?
I know all the ad reads. and that's not even one that I normally do. That's Corey's. I just hear him say it enough. And then last order of business, we would like to thank our sponsor, Coalesce Apparel. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can find their entire selection of shirts, hoodies, and stickers at coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the gift code SCG when checking out to get 10% off of your purchase there.
I'm now sponsored by Coalesce as well. Use the use the gift code FFFREE when checking out. Use that one. Also,
Sure.
I will.
Either will work. You can't use both though.
I'll get cola shirts soon too.
Yeah. I believe that is it. That's every ad read. We got through them. So that is going to be it for today's show. We do have another special guest all of next week, and that is Jim Davis.
Oh, you're giving it away?
Yeah, we already told him on Tuesday.
Okay.
He's going to be visiting Roanoke next week and coming to Versus Live on Tuesday and Thursday. So you're going to see
Ooh,
both.
I wonder what formats Jim and I will play on Versus next week. That'll be interesting.
You're going to not see Brad, unfortunately. You're going to see Corey and me battling against Jim next week. One of us will take Tuesday, one take Thursday. So we'll put Jim through the gauntlet. We're going to have a good time. So be sure to check in for those shows. They're going to be at our regular times, Tuesday and Thursday next week from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. But that's going to be it for today. For Rob, I'm Ross Merriam. He is Brad Nelson. Thanks for showing up, and we'll see you next time.